Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? How we doing? I apologize for the 5-minute delay. I was here in good time, but as always, when setting up the stream in mobile, it always bugs out. A very cool feature of YouTube. I love it. It's always great when that happens, don't you agree? I'm being sarcastic if you couldn't tell. Hello there, everyone. How are you doing? And I've just seen that Knight has asked, how did I get Dragon City in PC? Very, very simple to get Dragon City in PC. You get it from the Microsoft Store. So you do need to have at least a Microsoft Store on your computer, so you can't have an Apple to do that. But today we hit kind of a big milestone, I guess, because for me, I care because I am a collector. We did hit 1K. And we'll see that when we get in. But I did see that Joy Doovie Browning became a duckling. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you being here. But I am going to get Dragon City opened up. And I can show you the video file of us actually hitting 1K today. Because I did do it on mobile, because I had to do it on mobile for runner event stuff. So I'm sorry I had to do it earlier. But we did get our beautiful, wonderful Emperor Penguin as our 1K dragon, which is fabtabulous, to be honest. But either way, aloha. We are here, and we did actually manage to get enough orbs for Phoenix Eternal as well. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good at the moment. But here we are with 1,001 dragons, uniques now hatched. We've hatched a lot more than 1,000, but uniques we've got over 1,000 now. And if I just open up the video file from earlier, then we can watch our beautiful Emperor Penguin in the flesh. Let me just download this, and then we can actually watch it together. We can watch the moment together. This beautiful, beautiful moment that brings us together as gamers. Number 1K. Now, Emperor Penguin as well is a really nice dragon because he is just a single element dragon, and that means he's really, really good for breeding, hatching. So yeah, I am happy getting him, to be honest. Yeah, hello there, vampire. Look at that little baby just moving around his wand. You seen him? You seen him flapping that around? Look at him go. Oh, he's nuts. I do really like the baby form of this dragon. Some of the dragons in baby form in this game I'm not a massive fan of, but Miguel here has a nice baby form. The adult form is a little bit more terrifying, but little baby Miguel was number 1,000 in our collection stuff. Hello, Giovanni. You'll trade Imp Dragon Orbs for redemption? Why would anyone do that? You can just rescue Imp. You just have to have legendary rescues unlocked. But, either way, you can see that as our collection there. That was when we were at 1K earlier. We've got the Corrupted Electric as well now. Okay, I'm sorry. I hatched another one on top. But as of 1K, I am fully free to play, as I've said many times. Some people think that I'm not for whatever reason, but fully free to play. And I will say that when we had permanent speed ups, we genuinely were hatching about 10 new dragons a day when we first started. I don't have permanent speed ups anymore because screw social point. But we still are getting new dragons like constantly all the time. And you'll see that we are summoning a new dragon, which I don't know why I decided to summon this dragon, because we have a beautiful, beautiful Phoenix Eternal that we can summon as soon as this is done. And then when we summon Phoenix Eternal, that means that we can then, of course, get on with the Phoenix quests. And these Phoenix quests, of course, can give us beautiful, pure Eternal Light, which will give us more Orbs of Phoenix. So it's just constant. You can rescue him, Imp. Yes, you can rescue Imp. You just need to unlock legendary rescues, if you didn't know. You don't need to trade for him. You don't need to breed for him. You can just rescue him. How did I do what, Gavin? Am I married? I am not married. I was engaged a few years ago. I am no longer engaged or married. You sent a request to my guild. That is one thing that I will jump into, because today, of course, we did get the new Maze event, Maze of Souls. You can see that I have actually already made some progress in this event. So we will go through that, but we do also have all of this wonderful runner event currency to use, and I didn't really want to do it on my own because runner can get a little bit repetitive. So yeah, we can do this together. You can see me fail on certain rocks and then laugh at me. That's fine. What happened to DML? I quit at the end of last year because the game was not good. How did I get the orbs for Phoenix? Well, that was... I got a little bit lucky with my trading, and plus I did do some trading earlier with Piffle. It's not easy to get Phoenix Eternal Orbs right now, I'm just going to be honest with you. I did end up trading out Corrupted Legend Orbs and stuff like that, so you really do need some good high value stuff to trade out to people. Like, you're not going to be getting... You're not getting that stuff for free. Definitely not. But anyway, we've got feeding, collecting food to do. I needed to make sure that I was definitely collecting food here. And we are, so we need to make sure that we get our short-term food in here before I accidentally screw myself over in this reset. So just give me a moment to plant all of these bluebell bouquets, because we need to get 100% of these runner event quests done. So let's pop in our bluebell bouquets for now, finish off these bad boys. What is my clan? My alliance is the quackalakes flock is the main alliance that we've got. And I did actually kick out 5 people earlier. I wonder how many applications we've got. We've got a couple. I guess we will accept the current 2. We've got a couple more spaces in the quackalakes flock at the moment. Do I have any tips? I did upload a full beginner's guide for this game earlier this year, actually. I think it's probably a good thing to check out if you haven't already, because it goes through a lot of the basic stuff that you need to be aware of with this game, and new stuff, that sort of thing, if you're a returning player. Let's level up a level 1 dragon. Where do we have a level 1 dragon anyway? Because we will be going through and doing all of that runner stuff, but I want to get our runner event currency first. No, not you. Damn it. There we go. We've got a level 1 here. You're going to apply as well? Oh my days, it's going to be full in no time. The best legendary dragon to rescue? A lot of people think that Deluge is the best option. I can understand why, because it does have a multi-hit skill. It's basically like Cosmic Detonation, but you just rescue it instead. So if you're wondering which dragon I'm talking about, I am talking about when it loads. If it loads, there we go. I'm talking about this guy here. So this is Deluge. You can see I've already got this guy, but you can rescue him, which does mean that each time you're going to need 60 keys. You've got to finish off the legendary rescue, but he's got Drowning Deluge, which hits 3 to 4 times. He's got Double C as his main elements, legendary and metal. Obviously, it's basically like having a 3-elemented dragon, but he does have that skill, and honestly is probably one of the best picks that you can get out of rescues. Not necessarily the best, because it depends on what you need for the team, but Deluge is a very good pick for a rescue dragon. Again, he's like the brother to Cosmic Detonation, but Cosmic Detonation you breed for, Deluge you rescue for. So you're not getting any tower pieces for ages now. I'm not sure what you mean by tower pieces personally. If you mean like event currency, then you can only get 600 currency per reset. But I don't know what you mean by tower because we don't have a tower right now. Oh, hi again, Joy. But yeah, we've had lots of trading going on recently and all of that, but I'm mainly just wanting to get these collected. But I guess we can do the collecting food as we go along with this runner event. So with this runner event, Run of Souls, if you haven't already seen, it was best really to wait to do this event because we've got event currency in this, and if you save up your runner stamps and do it now, that means that you're getting maze coins instead of grid coins. And unless you were really going for soul, you probably didn't need to get the grid coins, so that's why I saved my runner event stamps. And now we can make our way to Psych. Now this dragon is very similar to the other runner dragon that we had recently-ish, but it's got beauty primary, it's got soul and chaos, so that's 3 ancient world elements, which is kind of interesting, don't you think? You're level 97, anyone can apply to the alliance, just so that you know. How to find whether a dragon is breedable or not, you open up its page and then you click this here and it'll tell you. The only way, or usually the only time that this doesn't work, is when a dragon is a time breeding dragon, and then it says that it's only available at specific times, but it's actually breedable. So that's what the time breeding guides are used for. If you want to know where they are, they're actually in my Discord server. Like I'll show you right here. If you want to know where the time dragon breeding guides are and the legendary ones, you can just open up the Dragon City chat and then you'll see all time element breeding outcomes, because again, the game doesn't show these. And then the same with the legendary ones as well. So you can open that up and use it whenever you need to. That is what it is there for. Do I miss DML? God, no. What are the reset timers for things like maze events? If you see in the bottom right hand corner, my time right now is 7:17 p.m. in Englando land, the UK land. So the timer reset is at 7 p.m. and it's every 8 hours from then. So it's 7 p.m., 3 a.m. and 11. And so those are the times here in the UK, and your reset timer will be at the same time, like same moment, but just whatever it is in your time zone. So like if you're in parts of Europe, it'll be an hour later than that, but at the exact same moment as me. So you can work it out like that. You're dying inside? Oh god, really? It's full of requests? I can only see 2. Oh, I see. Well, you asked me directly as well, but yeah, I guess we immediately got a bunch of people requesting. I'm sorry, there's only so many places that we have, but if you do ever want to join one of the alliances, of course we've got all of the other alliances as well. Some of them are really active, some of them not as active, but I know that we got quackalakes 23 recently? Did they get any spots left? Or did they get any more people in? We've got 25? When did that happen? Well, we've got quackalakes 25 as well. Look, I don't know what's going on. I can't manage this many alliances, okay? But we do have these that exist. Of course, we've got some that I can see that are private, which you should be able to apply to them, and hopefully the leaders will accept people. But it looks like we've got like 24 alliances at the moment. I didn't know 25 existed. I knew about 23. I didn't know about 25, but yeah. The one that gives you 20% boost on gold production. Oh, do you mean the crystals? I'm not sure what you mean. You're kind of lost in Dragon City. I would say maybe it's worth picking up the new player guide. Like if I get this open just to show you which video I'm talking about, because that might be a good starting spot, I would imagine. God, I'm trying to go through my own videos. I don't remember. Here it is. It's this one right here, which was 5 months ago. I'm not going to play this out right now because I'm here, but like this video right here, it goes through most of the stuff that you need to be aware of, ways to get more food, things that you should do first. If you're a returning player or anything, I think that this video here is probably quite good for that. It's not going to give you everything that you absolutely need. I'm here for that now, but that video in particular is probably good for returning players, I would say especially. But anyway, have I considered naming all 1,000 dragons? Honestly, I used to name every single one of them. Like where is our joke dragon in particular? I remember naming him. I remember I used to name every, there we go, your mom fat. There you go. Did you like that? Was that worth the effort? No. But either way, I used to go through and name all of them. I think I stopped when I got to about 600-ish. So a lot of them are just default names, but like we got Explosion there, we got Scully, we got all sorts of crap on our islands. I can't even describe. We got Hottie. You like Hottie? We got all sorts of stuff around here. Okay. We got so much stuff on these islands, but I'm hoping to hit 1500 eventually. I am fully free to play, so getting lots of dragons is kind of difficult, but I think getting to 1500 should be possible. We've got a load of these like sanctuary breeding dragons to get still. We'll get those over time. Green Fluid, weird. Unity, weird. Millennium, kind of nice, but like we got all of these dragons to breed or summon, so we got tons of stuff ahead of us, to be honest. But anyway, like I said, we have runner event stuff to do. And so we might as well keep collecting food while we do this, but we have tons of runner eventing to do, so I'm just going to get on with it. How do you get so much food? The way that I get food primarily is from events. You can also get lots of food from alliance chests. If you ever are in an alliance, you would ideally be in a level 6 alliance, because we do have a couple of different food chests, and if you hit level 6, you will of course be getting the maximum amount of food that you can out of them. That's why getting into a high ranking alliance is quite important for a new player, or just any player really, but especially the newer you are, it will be dependent on your player level as to how much food you actually get, but in general, just that extra supply of food is absolutely huge. So at least try to get into a level 5 alliance if you can. Level 5 / level 6, they still give decent amounts, but obviously level 6 alliances are going to give you the most, but it depends on how active you are as a player really as to which one you'd be stuck in. But you've got those two methods, events and alliance chests, so basically two different event types. The other way to get food is by having lots of food producing dragons on your islands, because not a lot of new players know this, but certain dragons actually do produce food on the islands, not just gold, and it is generally VIP dragons that produce food. And different VIP dragons or limited dragons produce different amounts of food, so like Titans, they produce a little bit, vampires produce a bit. We've got some random legendaries, like positive and negative, that actually, they generate quite a bit. And so we've got those dragons that produce food on your islands, and so every set amount of time since you last collected it, you will get more food from those dragons, and then, oh, we got double rewards. I'm not going to do that because I'm live, I'm sorry. Buy 5 gems. But when you see it, you can collect the food off of the islands, and having tons of those food producers obviously means that you're going to be producing a lot more food overall. So that's how you can get lots from them. The other way to get food is, of course, just by farming. The thing with farming is getting lots of food is quite expensive. So you're going to have to be putting in the 20 million food at the very least if you want to get a substantial amount, but it's very expensive. It's got a long cooldown, so you can't really use it during certain events, but those are the main ways to get lots of food. Can I add you in the alliance? I don't know, we had tons of requests. I don't even know how many spots we've got. I don't know. I'm just gonna go from top to bottom of people that have never been in before, I guess. I'm sorry, we don't have enough spots. I can only accept so many people. Your friend got a double on a heroic egg? Nice. Have I stopped accepting them? It's not that I've stopped, it's just we've got too many applications. It fills up in like 2 seconds whenever I mention it. But again, if you can't get into the main alliance for any reason, you've got all the other alliances. Again, we've got like 25 of them now, technically more. So you can apply to any of the other alliances as well, and I'm sure that in any of the relatively active ones, they'll accept you. But, you know, we do have quite a few new alliances, and by that I mean they've only been here for like, what, 1 event, if that? I think that 25th alliance is probably like brand new. So you can always join that, and I think that one's open at the moment. They might close it when it gets full. But we got tons of alliances, and of course anyone can make a quackalakes alliance in theory. I would just say that anyone that does make an alliance is going to be relatively active as a leader, because if you're not active, you're not going to be accepting people, you're not going to be doing the events, so the alliance won't score very high. And as a leader or co-leader for an alliance, you do really need to be setting somewhat of an example. So if you're not active as a leader, your players aren't going to be active either. So that's the general rule, although for most of the quackalakes alliances, there's no minimum requirements for most of them, because they are supposed to be open to anyone. But a couple of them do want to be higher scoring level 6 exclusive alliances, so a lot of them stay as level 6 alliances. So if you don't score, or, you know, the people don't score more than like 100 points, you're probably getting kicked. But in that case, you could always try joining one of the less ambitious alliances, but you just got to find the right one for you, really. Or you can just join a random one that you find that's just a constant level 6 try-hard alliance. That is up to you. That is your prerogative. If you want to do that, you do that. But just be aware that some level 6 alliances don't accept newer players because they find them, well, pretty unreliable, which is true. But arena chess, league chess especially, they're just not going to be scoring very much. So, oh, 3.8 million food, did you see that? Oh, I didn't even notice. Og? Any advice on getting VIP dragons? Play the events, trading. They're the main ways, honestly. Like, we got dual perception from the events. Like, how's that dual perception doing these days? He's what, Empower 3, I think? Yeah, he's in Power 3 now. We got him for free from an event. We got him empowered. He's already at E3. He's pretty good. Like, whenever we want to, we can come back to empowering him. The other dragon I'm focusing on at the moment is Corrupted Legend. I did trade out some of his orbs earlier for Phoenix Eternal, but we can use Jokers on him if we ever need to. But, like, it's better to focus on specific dragons that you want to take to E5 rather than focusing on tons of them. But VIPs you can get from events, and especially from event collections and stuff like that, like we had the Corrupted collections for the birthday event and stuff like that. And of course, we have the Rise of the Norn, which can give you tons of VIPs out of there if you're lucky. So there's tons of different ways. It's mainly events and trading, to be honest. Can you make a 26? If you're going to be active, it's fine to make one of the new alliances if you're willing to, you know, wait for new players to come in. I will say that if you ever do go inactive, make someone else leader, just so that then we can make sure that the alliances actually stay alive, because tons of people say, oh, I'm super active, I want to be the leader, I want to make it. And then within like 2 weeks, they've already dropped off. So if you're going to do that, at least give leader to someone that's active. Because a few people did that and ended up giving leader to very inactive people, and then that just completely destroys the alliances, you know? At least try and give it to someone that is somewhat reliable, you know, if you're gonna do that. That would be the ideal if you want to join in on that. If Blood God and Sinful fought, who would win? It depends on their perks, really, what they've got on them and what level each of them are. Any tips about runner events? Your average is about 30 each run. Is it just practice? Kind of, but it primarily comes down to understanding the event. You'll see that I usually get 120 every single run. I did make a full runner event guide for this game as well. Maybe you want to check that out separately. So, like, this is the new player's guide. If I do runner event guide, sorry, I know my keyboard is very loud. This one here, I would say, is the better one to watch because it goes through how exactly you should be playing each event. That's on PC and mobile players, so it includes tips for everyone, video guides and that. This one I think is a good one to watch if you're struggling with runner events, but while I'm here, obviously I can go through it anyway. And so, with runner events, the main thing that people struggle with is knowing what they can actually move around and what they can actually jump over. And the 71 mark, 70-ish mark, where we get the more complicated rock formations is where people screw up a lot. Realistically, if you want to do well in runner events, you need to be hitting 100 plus every single run. Like getting 30 in a run, it's not good enough. That is if you want to get your hands on this dragon, you want to get your hands on the plus 20 gems, and you want to go even further and potentially get the 2XL boxes. You have to be doing better than that. And so I will go through these runs and try and explain them in a moment. But knowing which formations you can jump over and how to deal with them means that you're going to have a really easy time then. You play about 2 hours a day. I guess that's kind of active for Dragon City. It's not a game that you normally have to be like stuck to all the time. But like if we go into this runner event run here, of course you want to be picking up every single pinwheel that you possibly can. The only time you're not going to pick up a pinwheel is if you are going to actively die when you do it. Which every single formation in runner event is doable. Like there is not a single formation in runner that isn't doable. They're all doable. But there are very particular formations where it's risky just to go for a single pinwheel. In which case, if you get to the end and you're like at 118 score, it's not too bad. But I would say 110 plus should be your minimum every run, ideally. But 100 if you just, you're, say, getting used to the event, maybe your device is a bit slow, that sort of thing. But like on PC, it is infinitely easier for me. I will say that I find runner events so much easier on PC compared to mobile. Like I do not enjoy runner on mobile at all. I can still get 110 plus every run on mobile, but it is just so much more annoying. And I would say that on PC I get 120s a lot more often because I can get the random pinwheels more often than I can on mobile. But like there's certain formations, like you know that you can jump over these rocks after you've done it a few times, you know what to expect, what's coming up. So after a couple of runner events, I'd say you're normally pretty up to speed if you were paying attention in them. But it mainly just comes down to knowing how to deal with each rock type, because they're just repeated patterns that you do over and over again, basically. They're not going to be the exact same between every single run, that you just sort of get used to it in your mind, and it should become second nature eventually, so that you can get 120 every single time. If you want to go for a high score, go for 500,000 points, go crazy. You should be able to do that as well. But getting 120 every single run, oh, I'm gonna have to watch the ads, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to watch them with me. That is if they work, which let's try and refresh a couple times, because this is the problem with PC Dragon City. You see when I say that ads are broken on PC Dragon City, this is what I mean. They just don't work 90% of the time usually. So that's why if I'm going to open something like a jar, I would normally try and do it on mobile. But maybe we're not going to get the double reward on this roulette chest, which sucks because we'd really want the extra currency for Maze event. But, you know, I guess we're just not going to get lucky. Screw you, game. And if I was to cancel out and reopen the game to try and fix this ad, it just would only give me one roulette wheel anyway. So as soon as you open up this page, that's it. You got to hope that the ad loads. If it doesn't, screw you. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. I guess we'll just have to claim it. Well, I guess we're not watching ad together then. Guess we're not. Screw you, game. This jar, I'm not sure. Is that a double? Is that a ×2? Let me just check quickly. Because we do have a Dragon City event guides channel in the Discord server that normally tells us which one we can get ×2 on. We're currently at 360 points, which isn't very much yet. But can we get ×2 on this jar? Oh, we can. Oh, God, that's going to suck when it doesn't load in, isn't it? Oh, God. You see, I really want to get as many jars as possible so that we can do well in this Soul Searchers event, because you see I'm at 54 right now. And next chest we open up is going to have either Legendary Jokers or it's going to have 200 orbs of these dragons, either of them. And then we've got the Heroic Jokers, and then if we manage to get another 50, we could get the Corrupted Egg chest. I don't care about this too much. I mainly just want up to the Heroic Jokers, but it's not going to give us the ×2, is it? We're not going to be able to watch it because of the ad. Ugh. See, normally I'd swap to mobile and do a single a single run on mobile, suffer through it, but I guess we'll just do it on PC while I'm here. Hypothetically, when a new slot opens for the main alliance, do you need to be in the Discord to join? You don't, but you might find out sooner if there is a spot if you're on Discord. But usually what happens is if I get any 0 scorers in an alliance chest, I'll normally notify them like a few hours before or like a day before saying, okay, if we get any 0 scorers, you're getting kicked because I'm going to assume that you're not active anymore. And if they don't score still after that, then that's it, they're going to get kicked. So it's generally going to be at the end of an alliance chest, unless someone in the alliance just says, hey, I'm busy now, so I'm not going to be playing the game very much, you can kick me, that sort of thing, which could happen at any time. But usually it's going to be towards the end of the alliance chest where you might be able to pick up a spot either in my alliance or just other alliances in general. Because again, if an alliance ever has someone that doesn't score, then that means that that player's basically just taken up a spot for someone that, you know, would want to actually get those rewards and would be willing to score in that event. So that's why sometimes if you're just not going to score at all, it's better to just leave your currently active alliance and just join either an inactive one, or, you know, maybe if you're not playing the game, just, well, you're not playing the game, right? But obviously, when a lot of people just don't open the game again, their first thought isn't going to be, oh god, but I've left the alliance now, I've left the alliance and I've ruined their alliance chest points. Like, most people aren't going to be thinking that when they just don't open the game because they can't be bothered to play or they don't want to play it anymore. So it does happen, but that's why the leaders of the alliances need to be on it whenever players just don't log in or they don't score, that sort of thing. Other times people might just be on holiday or busy, and then sometimes the alliances are, you know, going to accept that and understand that. But you really do need to notify them in advance, really. Alright, shall we cry about us not being able to get this second jar here? Why PC DML? Not DML DC. Oh god, I said the forbidden word. Ugh. Can you make one? Again, only if you don't want to join any of the existing ones, because again, we've got tons of new ones that you could join. But if you don't want to join any of the existing ones and you're certain you're going to be active, you're willing to take in new players and actually act as a leader, then sure, you can make one, but then you need to actually get players in to score well in the events, you know? You need to know when the race is. You talking about heroic race? If you want to know when the upcoming events are on, you can either check the official Dragon City Discord, or we've got the Dragon City News channel, and in this they did post the upcoming events schedule, and it posted in there, it's got everything that's coming up. So for instance, we've got the Destiny Heroic Race starting on June 8th. So it's only a few days away from now. Then we are going to have a Fog Island, we're going to have a Maze Island, we're going to have a new Divine Pass, but all of that stuff is found in the June events calendar, which is in the Dragon City News channel section of my Discord server. So it's also in the official Discord, of course, because that's where we get that info from. It auto-posts into the server, so you could get it from either place, really. Your choice, wherever you want to get it from. Tell me when you make it. Like, is someone making the 26? It's just going to be nuts with all of these new alliances getting made. To be fair, it was like that a while ago, and I specifically stopped mentioning new alliances because we gained like 10 new alliances in like a couple of days, and it was getting nuts. So I intentionally stopped mentioning the alliances because otherwise it just goes nuts. So realistically, see if there's any new alliances first. If you're not someone that's really going to be like in a leadership position, see if there's any that you want to join first. And, you know, especially if you're a new player, maybe there's some things that you might learn from other people in there first. But otherwise, you know, if you are someone that is somewhat knowledgeable, active, you can make an alliance, really. It's your choice. I can't stop anyone from making them. I also can't manage any of the other alliances, so although they may have my name there and the penguin logo, I can't touch them. because in this game there's no like group management of alliances, so if there's ever an inactive alliance, that's unfortunately something I can't do anything about. Oh god, we're gonna die on that rock. That's fine, we hit 111 still. That's what I get for not paying attention. Hello, Jensen. You know what? Monstrous reminds me that he was one of the dragons that I had from years ago. Back when I played way back then. And then when I came back to the game, he was one of the dragons that I was still using. This was this year. Look at him getting contorted over himself. Silly goober. Silly, silly goober. But yeah, I mean, you know, I will say that it feels like Dragon City's been giving out a lot of Joker orbs recently. I don't know if it's just me that's feeling that, but especially from the event collections, it feels like we've been having tons of Joker orbs made available, which I am not against. I'm not complaining. Also getting the Corrupteds in the event as well is obviously a great thing, because before, Corrupted Dragons were a pain in the butt cheeks to get a hold of. So if they're gonna start making Corrupted Dragons more common, I am all for it personally. But the thing is, at the same time, I'm wondering when they're gonna start making Karmas and things like that more available, not in Wizard's Hollow, because Wizard's Hollow I do not like. Wizard's Hollow is like everything wrong with mobile gaming. It is just a gacha fest. I do not support Wizard's Hollow. I don't like it. Of course, if you've got at least 300 gems, you are more or less gonna have a good chance at getting the dragon. And if you have enough gems, it's just guaranteed that you're gonna get it. But I don't like how much of a disparity there is in terms of cost. But, you know, that's just this game in a nutshell, really. But I'm hoping that maybe the Karmas they'll start making more available. At the moment, they're primarily just Dragon TV, which is kind of like vampires, aside from, you know, Kung Flo recently. But maybe we'll get some Karmas available in much easier ways, like the Redemptions, the Ascendeds, they've been made available recently, so maybe the Karmas will have the same thing happen with them. Who knows? You missed when they had the Black Friday, did they? Hello there. You got 100 orbs or 120 orbs of High Crit Keeper? Not bad, not bad. Oh, I love these purple chests. That's not great, but those purple chests are fantastic. Sometimes some of the rewards in them, really nice. I guess we will get a vacuum while we are here, but you see we've got tons of stamps left to use. Which is what I get for just talking and not focusing on doing the runner event. You got High Master Karma, nice. You see, anyone has the chance of getting High Master Karma or any of the others out of those Norn chests. It's just the chance of it happening is very low. But as long as everyone has a chance, you know, not gonna complain that much. It's just don't expect it to happen, because I've had people before say, wow, the chance of getting High Master Karma must be so high. No, it's really not. Like, getting the VIP heroics out of those chests is extremely unlikely. Now, maybe you manage to find someone that's got the same seed as you. And what I mean by that is you can find people that have the same drops as you, because this game works on, I would guess, a seeded basis. So you can actually find someone that gets the exact same drops as you in every single event. And if you meet someone like that and they've, say, opened a chest before you, you know what you're going to be getting. But it's really difficult to find someone that's got the same seeds as you, and so usually you're not going to be able to have that. But some people do know who their seed buddy is, and so they know exactly what's coming in the next chest. And like, some people know that next chest, oh, you're gonna get a High Corrupted Time Dragon, which would be very, very cool to know in advance. Most of my chest luck is honestly quite terrible, which I expect it at this point in these games. I don't expect good drops. It's just what it is. But certain people get really, really nuts, absolutely nuts drops in this game. And kudos to them. They get loads of freebies. It means they've got loads of stuff to trade as well. The rest of us suffer. You don't know how to maximize its full potential, you just got to build a good team around either your heroic or your VIP. So as many unique elements as you possibly can fit. You know, make sure that one of the dragons is a heroic, one's a legend, one's a breedable. Might really help a lot of people to be able to empower a lot quicker. And how do people get heroics? Events, mainly trading. Another way, getting lucky in ads. There's a few ways, but heroics themselves aren't that difficult. Of course, the main way to get heroics, which is the basic way, is do the heroic race. But heroic races are also really good to jump in on when they're happening, because if you do the heroic combat quest, you can basically get a free Empower 2 dragon for nothing. So I would say that when this new heroic race starts, definitely get in on it, try and win. If you can't come first, at the very least try and get to lap 15. And lap 15, you've got a lot of days of leeway to hit lap 15. Like, if you are playing the event, you've got like, what, 3 to 4 days of leeway during the heroic race where you can still get lap 15. So you can basically miss days of the event and still hit lap 15 and guarantee yourself the heroic. And I think a lot of new players give up because they think that they can't do it. But it doesn't really matter what your player level is. As long as you can do league battles, you're gonna be fine for the most part. Now, even if you can't do league battles, you can just save your gems to exclusively skip the league battles and use the special bingo skip. You can use that to skip those as well. But it's going to be more difficult if you can't do your league battles. So getting dragons that are good enough to do 100% of your league battles is really important for heroic races for that reason. But I mean, I hit, what was it, lap 16 in my first ever heroic race, and I did not have dragons that were capable of doing all my league battles. So it is definitely possible, definitely. And I was working 5 days a week in office. I couldn't just play the game when I was at work, and I still managed to get to lap 16 in my first race. So it's 100% possible. You don't need to give up just because you're a new player or a returning player. Can you come to some of your club clan? They've kicked you out after 10 minutes. Maybe they meant to accept someone else, would be my guess. Like, maybe they thought that you were someone else. That happens sometimes, especially if they're getting a lot of, you know, applications. Maybe someone else that they knew was applying at the same time and they accidentally accepted you, in which case I wouldn't take it too personally. So, you know that I've left DML, but my content has helped. Well, I'm glad it's helped. I'm sorry that I'm not playing it anymore, but the game is just not... I know that the recent events, apparently they've improved the drop rates and stuff during events quite a lot, which I'm happy about. I'm happy for any DML players, but no, I will never go back to that game, to be honest. This is just a better version of dragon collecting, and even this isn't the best version of dragon collecting out there. This is just better than the other one, in my opinion. I just cannot ever understand going back to DML after playing this game, personally. You got Corrupted Time and a bunch of people got Chrono, Penguin, Apollo. Yeah, it's not happening. No matter how many times people say, oh, I swear DML's better now. It's not better because the fundamental problem with DML is that the base game is not very good. Like, compared to DC, in Dragon City you can be doing dragon rescues. You've got constant events that you can just skip if you want to because the dragons will be out soon enough. Dragon Mania Legends literally time-gated some of the ancients and divines for 3 years. 3 years they wouldn't re-release them. Like, this isn't even them saying that, oh, we're never gonna release them ever again. Well, they said that at one point, then said, oh yeah, that's not true. But they just don't release... Oh god, that was me being too early. That was my anger coming out there. What game that is a live service game thinks it is just gonna be okay to not re-release a dragon for 3+ years? Like, this game re-releases dragons all the time. Even VIPs. I know that The Walking Dead's might be an exception to that, but they've explicitly stated that in the game multiple times and like in the posts, but not releasing dragons for that long, there's no excuse. And it's like, it happens all the time in that game. And plus, it takes like a full week to get a single dragon, whereas in this game, you can play the game for a week and get 25 new dragons. Like, why would you ever play the other one ever again? I know that Dragon City players are probably very confused, but trust me, DML is just so much worse in terms of acquisition, in terms of free-to-play earnings, stuff like that. I will never go back. Even with the event drops increased, it doesn't fix the game. It just doesn't. What legendary dragon or legendary vampire can be good to line up with High Master Karma? Well, it depends on what you've got, but think about High Master Karma's elements, and then think about the vampires that you've got or could get. You just want to have as many unique elements as you possibly can, really. Any that you've got, and ideally one with an okay primary element, which, that's going to change a little bit as we get more Ancient World element dragons, but you just want to try and get as many unique elements, realistically. Prideful? Maybe. He works kind of well elements-wise, but I do not like Prideful personally. You check my page before you do any new events and inform your husband because he plays too and he thinks it's so funny. Well, you know, getting info beforehand, it can be really useful, especially in, say, maze events. If you're not sure what to look for, then I think just going through what the various rewards are, total costs and things like that, helps you to make an informed decision. But like in other games, especially skill-based games, you know, the whole point for a lot of people is knowing what's going on before you even step foot into the game. Now, this one's more of a casual-based game, so it's not too much of a bother, and it's not going to make a massive difference. But I think knowing what's going on and what's happening is a lot better than generally just, you know, clicking buttons and not knowing what's going on and just going, oh, look, a dragon! Like, you can get so much more value if you know where to spend gems, what to focus on. And like in maze events, imagine if rather than going down a particular path and getting the event items that you need, you just spent it on random crap. Like, some people do that and they can have fun with the game like that. That's fine. That's up to them. But other people want to get as many rewards as possible in the shortest amount of time. They just want to play optimally. And for those people, there should be a way to, you know, work that out. And that's primarily what I say my channel for the most part is about, and also the Discord server for the most part with the game chats. You know, the whole point is trying to make things better for everyone, inform everyone if they're not sure what to do. Sometimes everyone doesn't know what they're doing, or something new happens and then we all have to learn together. I think as a whole, this is very much a casual game. Let's not pretend it's not. And so I think a lot of the enjoyment does come from helping other people personally. But, you know, it is a pay-to-win game at the end of the day. And since I'm free-to-play and we've got tons of free-to-plays in the community, it's about us, for us, getting as much value as we can without having to spend anything. So, yeah, I've only got 150 gems. You see other people that have like 70,000. It's like, Jesus, that's too many, you know. You're gonna get HMK to 2 stars next Empower Happy Hour? Nice. Oh, you've played DML for 86 days. Well, you know, again, if you enjoy that game, power to you. I'm not saying that anyone else has to not enjoy it just because I don't, but you're never going to see me playing that game again, personally. You started spending money and it's so easy now? I don't know, because the costs of everything are so expensive in the game. Like, even if you do spend, the prices are extortionate. Which is good in a way for free-to-plays, but it also means that if you're just rich, that's it, you just win everything, no effort required, that sort of thing. That being said, not all pay-to-wins just no effort the game. Some pay-to-wins are good in theory at the game, and by that I mean they're knowledgeable, they know what to focus on. And then some of the payees are not very good. And I feel like some of the whales if they were to go free to play, they'd just be absolutely lost. Like, not all of them. I'm not targeting a specific person or anything with that. It's just some of the whales, because this is a pay-to-win game in essence. They're not good at the game and they just make up for it by spending money. I don't like pay-to-win games, which is quite a funny thing to say since I'm playing it right now. But again, I'm full free-to-play. I consider this a free-to-play game only for me. And I think if I started spending, one, we would never be able to get our 12-hour time skips in case they ever come back. And two, I just feel like it would take away a lot of the challenge. Because there's only a limited amount of challenge in this game. A lot of it is just playing the events, logging in for resets, breeding stuff. And you can do that in a lot of games. So I wouldn't want to make it easier than it already is. You know, that's me personally though. That's just how I play this game. You can play however the heck you want to play. If you just want to spend out of your butt cheeks, you go crazy. Just don't blame me if you regret the decision later on. You know? That's what it comes down to. If you want to spend stupid money in this game and you can easily afford it, go wild. But if people are saying to you, look, that purchase isn't really very worthwhile, maybe buy this one instead. It's not attacking you as a spender. It's just, hey, what, don't you want more value out of your money? Maybe you don't. Your choice. You came out when High Occult Titan was released. High Occult Titan is good because he is a heroic dragon with a shield, which is pretty good. Problem is his primary element is, it's fine, I guess. But High Occult Titan compared to the other VIPs, the other VIP heroics, he's not really on the same level as them. So if we compare High Occult Titan to, say, High Master Karma, if we compare him to High Redemption Norn, High Ascended Supreme, he's not really quite on their level. Now, he's still a good dragon. You can definitely still use him, because he's going to be usually better than just a regular old heroic, because he's a heroic with a shield. But if you ever get, say, High Master Karma, or High Redemption Norn, the other High Corrupted Time, if you ever get any of those, maybe you'd want to swap and empower those ones first. But that doesn't mean that Hot is a bad dragon. He's definitely not bad by any stretch. It's just, if you're making a team and you'd be duplicating tons of elements by adding him, maybe not pick him. Maybe just pick a really good, decent, regular heroic. And you can work on him later on. It's just, I wouldn't say Hot is the game-changing drop that, say, High Master Karma or Has would be. Although High Ascended Supreme's a lot better with skins, but they just have other skills that make them really, really good. Whereas Hot, I think because he was like the OG VIP heroic, he's just kind of underwhelming. Same with High Voodoo Vampire. I'd say that High Voodoo Vampire is still very good. Same with Hot. It's just compared to the other options that we've got these days, High Voodoo Vampire isn't quite there with the others. But this is like saying, oh, top 20 best dragons in the game isn't good. It's not that they're not good, it's just compared to the best of the best of the best, they're like a little bit behind, if you get what I mean. Which dragons are good for new players? You've got vampires, which people pick a lot. If you manage to pick up any VIPs, like if you pick up a redemption, which revives your allies, things like that, you might want to pick one of those for your team. Oh, can we do our chest? Oh, it's chest time. It's chest time. Let's open it. Let's open it. Oh no, I want away. Balls. Oh, I thought we got enough. Oh, I give up. Can we get another jar though? Can we get another jar while we're here? Oh, we can. Okay, let's get this jar and we're gonna open up our box and see what we get. Is Redemption Norn good? High Redemption Norn is insanely good. Again, I would say High Redemption Norn is probably top 5 in the game. It's alongside the other VIP heroics. If you manage to get High Redemption Norn and you don't have other heroics or anything built, just go with her for now. But Once you've picked a dragon, like say you got a high redemption Norn drop, then you can start thinking about which legend you want to add alongside, because like you've got the 4 elements of high redemption Norn, then you can add a legendary, like a VIP, that's got 4 elements that are unique to high redemption Norn, and then you can think about what breedable you want to add to your team. And there you go, you've got a late game team basically already concocted then. But whenever you get one of those VIP heroic drops, I'd say definitely use them. Again, even if it's hot, if it's your like only heroic dragon, just use it for now, empower it for now. He's still gonna be a really good pick, but you can always change what you want to focus on later with heroic Joker orbs or legendary Joker orbs. But definitely to get started, take the VIP heroics. I don't own a single one of them. Because they're incredibly unlikely to drop, and they're intended to be pay only. So either you paid for them in the past, or you just got them by being very lucky out of the event chests. So definitely use them. Like, sure, you might have other heroics, like maybe High Drowsy, maybe High Toy Town that you want to use because they've got some interesting elements. You can work on them later. Just work on your VIP heroic first. Like, it's a 500 orb dragon, so if you manage to get a lucky drop for that dragon, just take it. You've got a massive leg up of other players by getting those dragons for free. Which maze path should you take? We'll continue with the runner event in a second. I did say I would go through the maze event, because in Maze of Souls, you'll see that I've already started working on the Maze of Souls event because we're already on Blue Path here. And the people that want to take Blue Path or the Key Path in general are going to be people that either want to unlock the new Empty Dragon, which he's got an interesting set of elements as well. Time, Chaos, Magic, and then Plant. And of course, he looks wonderful as well. I love him. But if you go on the Keys path, you could, of course, potentially unlock this dragon, although you will have to get all the currency from Runner, ads, stuff like that if you want to potentially get this dragon. But the other thing about going down the Keys path is that you are going to be able to get lots of jars. You're going to get the maximum amount of jars by going down the Keys path. That is the way that you can get the most jars, and the jars, of course, are the jars that we want for the event collection. So you can get those. You can also get lots of bonus things, and mainly things like insignias on the Keys path. I would say that generally speaking, the Keys path is going to be the better pick for most people. But of course, in the other time limit paths, you've got stuff like tokens. You've got a couple of jars there, but like purple path here, not very impressive. Then we got light blue path. We don't really have that much of note. I mean, again, we've got a couple of jars on here, but nothing spectacular on these paths. I would definitely say that most people would benefit by going through the Keys path instead of the other paths. But again, it's up to you. If there's a particular reward that you want to go for on the other paths, you can do that. Oh, actually, we've got a jar coming up here. We're going to do jars. We're going to get a jar here. We don't even need to do runner. We are going to do runner, but we got a jar here. We're going to do it. Is there any possible chance to have an alliance war? Not right now, there isn't. Maybe one day they'll make something like that. Who knows? Anything is possible. But right now, there's no such thing as an alliance war. At the very most that you can do in an alliance is trade with people, which is like the opposite of warfare. It's like, hey, I want to help you. You want to help me? Sure, buddy. It's not very violent. Nowhere near as violent as you'd expect warfare to be. So, how can you get the key? Just by going through the path. Like, the first path that you've got is going to be the zombie flame dragon path. And then as you make your way through the path, like, you'll see that we're going to come up to this green key, and that's the key that we want to go on to the next bit. And so you need to make your way through all of the preliminary key paths first to unlock the final key path, which has empty on it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going towards the empty path. We're going to get this key here in a moment, because we're going to open up this jar whenever he arrives. And then we can move on to the next key path, and then we can make our way over to empty eventually. So you just have to go through all of the previous stages first. If you end up wanting to just unlock a particular dragon because maybe you don't have enough currency to unlock empty, for example, you can do that as well. But depends on how much currency you get as to exactly what you can get out of these key paths. But if you want to get the maximum amount of jars, insignias, and all of that stuff, this is the better path here. So like you'll see we've got a jar there, we've got insignias there, we've got another jar there. There's tons of jars, is what I'm saying. There's tons of jars on the keys path. And speaking of which, time to open up that chest from before. Can free-to-play get all islands open? If you're free-to-play, you can't get these ones. These ones are pay-only. You can get all of the other ones, though. Like this one here, you'll see that we can spend 850 gems to unlock this island. You can get all of these ones with gems, but these ones over there, they are pay-only, so you can't get those ones. Does this maze have an A and B? I'm not 100% sure, but I haven't seen anyone talking about A and B. I think this might just be a basic maze. Correct me anyone if I'm wrong, but I think it's just a maze, which if it is, that's fantastic because we don't like A and Bs. We don't like it. It's trash. Get rid of it, social point. Hello there. Which dragon of the dragons with insignias is most powerful? Norn, Karma, or the other one? Completely depends on the team, and also depends on which arena we're talking about. Because the main way that people generally consider which dragon is the most meta or the best pick is based on how well they do in the arena. And so arena, it's going to depend on which arena it is and also your whole team as to which one is better because they all are very good. There's a lot of factors that go into it. How do you get a lot of gems? Playing events, really. You can also do surveys and things like that if you have them. On PC, we don't have any of that stuff, so we can't do that on PC, but you can do surveys, you can download games and get free stuff sometimes, but we can't do that on PC. How do you get vampire dragon orbs beside Wrathful without trades? Just try and get one singular trade for a dragon that you want, and then you can summon it during summoning happy hour. Like, sometimes people will give you some free stuff, and by free, I don't mean completely free, but say you've got any... Oh, okay, there was a trade done. But say you've got any redemption orbs or anything from the recent events, like if I show you my vampire orbs at the moment, I've been doing tons of trading, so I barely got any for any of these guys. But all that you need is a singular trade for these, and then you can summon them using Joker orbs. That's it. But try with whatever VIP orbs you have to get at least one trade of these, and then there you go, free vampire. It's the easiest way to do it. Other than that, you would be relying on Dragon TV drops, like the golden drops, and it's not reliable, and like this time we've only got Wrathful, so. A and B is still in Wizard's Hollow. Yeah, Wizard's Hollow just sucks in general though, so we don't talk about Wizard's Hollow. That's my rule anyway. What are VIP dragons? They're dragons that were released to be pay only. So an example would be like the current pass dragon. She is intended, Chariot, to be pay only because you're supposed to, you know, buy the pass to get the dragon. Of course, you can end up getting orbs for her by trading, which is how I will be able to summon her very soon. But they're VIP dragons because they're intended to be paid dragons. And at the same time, they're normally 200 orbs to summon. So that's normally how you can spot them. Where am I from? England. But anyway, like I said, we've got this wonderful chest to open up. What do you think we're going to get out of this 60 ghost chest? Are we going to get the worst drop? What would I even want? Oh, of course I'd want the Joker orbs, but you know what? I wouldn't mind getting Night Terror. He's beautiful. Then again, if we just get Joker orbs, I'm not against that either, but I do really quite like Night Terror. The worst drop? Probably. No, you're cute, Rude Rex. Alright, let's open it anyway. Let's see what we get. You know what? It's fine. I would have preferred the other dragon, but that's fine. It's fine. We got 75 jokers. That's okay. You know what? I'll take it. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm not going to complain about that. Now, next one that we got to open is this one. This one. Oh, look at the difference. Times 40 to times 200. Like, I know it's a jackpot. I know it's probably not going to happen, but the difference between these drops is nuts. Ooh. W in my book? Yeah, I would say that was pretty good overall. But that's the only other one that I'm realistically going to care about too much, getting these Joker orbs here. So back to more jarring we go, I suppose. Just jars and jars and jars of goodies, that's what we need. But there we go, we finally got that collecting food done. I do quite like this particular quest in Runner event, I will say. So, you know, where it's collecting gold, feeding dragons, collecting food. I'd say this is probably, for me, the easiest one to do. If there was ever going to be a time to gem the Runner event, I think this would be the reset where I'd do it. Because Runner event, I love as an event, not only because I actually have to do something that's partially skill-based to play it in terms of Runner, but also you can technically infinitely gem this event and get to the end, even if you're free to play. Of course, you need all the gems to do that, but this is an event where you are capable of gemming if you've got a massive supply and getting a free heroic egg, getting the Runner chest. You can get all this stuff, even if you're free to play. Of course, most people aren't going to get that. They're going to get to around about here if they're free to play, but it's the theory that I care about. You know, if you really wanted to spend 1,000 gems on Runner event, you could do it. And you could get all of, like, a lot of these rewards, and you can do that in this event. You can't do that with a lot of Dragon City events. So I quite like Runner event because I like the event in general, and it's gemmable. So any tips? Well, we've gone through tons. If you want to watch the new player guide or returning player guide, that'll probably help a lot. But there's a lot of different things that you can do in Dragon City. There's tons of tips for different things, so you've got to be more specific than just any tips. It's like I could give you 100 tips, but would it be relevant to you right now? What's your player level? What do you have unlocked? You know, there's tons of stuff that goes into giving proper advice. And that's what the Discord server's for as well, to help people, inform people, post a load of crap a lot of the time. But that's part of the fun. But in terms of Runner events, like I mentioned before, I would say my biggest tip for Runner event, it will depend on the player, but I find PC Runner events so much easier than mobile ones. I will never ever go back to mobile Runner event if I don't have to. But I would say that that is the easiest way to start getting more points, by just using arrow keys on PC rather than mobile, and then just learning the different patterns of the rocks. So sometimes you might screw up even if you're really familiar with the event, but you know, after you've played this event like a couple of times, it is easy peasy lemon squeezy to get 110 plus every run. Again, even if you end up getting a single 70 run at some point, it's not a massive deal, but you need to be getting at least 100 every run if you want to get the best rewards. So that's what this event is about. 120, die, do another run, keep going. And to spend all of your currency, it takes a couple of hours, generally speaking, to again, spend all of it. So if you're going to save up all of your flight stamps, make sure that on the last day when you're going to spend it, you've got at least a few hours spare. Because if you've only got an hour left on the event and you've got 170 stamps to use, you're not going to get through them. So always make sure in Runner event that you pace yourself properly. And now with Runner event, I personally think, or I prefer, doing some runs through the week and then doing some runs at the end of the event. Rather than saving it all up, I prefer to do it over time, slowly, over time. Each reset, that sort of thing. I haven't done it this time because we were waiting for the maze event, but now that we've got like a day and something left, I'm spending this currency now, and then we can, oh, I missed that one. And then we can spend the rest of it on the last day, for instance, or in the last day-ish, the last few resets. That's my way of doing it. I find it so much more bearable to do this event like that. But maybe you just like saving up and you're just like going, okay, I'm going to do 3 hours of runner event today. Your choice, but this is my personal preference here. Also, I think I'm going to have to turn the light on soon. It's getting quite dark because it's like 8 PM here now. And the only thing that's bright is my rainbow keyboard. That is it. Which, I don't mind rainbows flying through the room, but they can be quite distracting, especially if I'm, you know, trying to read chat and also trying to do the event. So maybe I will turn on the light in a memento. But let's get this run done first. But, you know, I do wish that these runner event runs were a little bit shorter, because since they are the exact same thing over and over again, pretty much, I would just love to make them like half the time that they take now. If they ever improve this event like that, I would be in big support of that. You're not an OG? Who cares? It doesn't matter when you joined. When can you expect the next heroic race? This can be found in the Dragon City News channel on my Discord server in the upcoming events. The heroic race, like I showed earlier, is coming in a few days' time on June 8th. June 8th to June 19th, we are getting the High Destiny Dragon. It is right there. But yeah, it's there. That is what to expect. I don't know if we've seen High Destiny revealed yet, but you're only going to have to wait a few days anyway, and then you'll get to see it. But High Destiny sounds pretty scary, right? Sounds, why have I been tagged in an Instagram photo? God, what is that going to be? I'm scared, terrified. How old am I? I am 24. I'm about to be 25 in... Well, my birthday's on the 12th of June, so it's not going to be long now. I'm basically 25. But let me turn on this light that we've got. Hi, please don't post your age like that. That is not a smart thing to post. I am going to delete that, but please never post your age in this chat again, because you are far too young to be telling people how old you are. So don't do that again. I don't know why people do this, but just, I would say if you're not at least 16 to 18 years old, just keep your age to yourself. It's not because it's offensive or anything, but it's mainly just to protect yourself, okay? Like, especially if we've ever heard of stranger danger or anything like that, just don't be posting your age online. I know that sometimes maybe people aren't familiar with it, maybe they were never taught it, but it's so important that you don't make yourself a target online. And so that could come down to anything, either your age, maybe there's something about your life that's embarrassing that you don't want other people to know. You know, you don't have to share it. And it's okay. I'm not going to judge you no matter what your age is. Same with a lot of people. So just make sure you're safe. Keep yourself, well, keep certain things to yourself if you want to ensure that you're not in any danger anywhere. But, you know, I was the sort of person that when I was younger, I just used to lie about my age all the time. I mean, since I used to live away from a lot of my family, I was told to make a Facebook account. It's like, yeah, we know that you're a bit young for a Facebook account. So you're going to have to lie to Mr. Facebook about how old you are. And that was fine. So I just always used to tell everyone and everything that I was at least 18, which, if you'd have seen me, it was very obvious that I wasn't, but you also don't need to be seeing me. But, yeah, I mean, it's just so important, especially this day and age, with the amount of weirdos that go around. The internet's everywhere now, so don't paint a big sign on your back saying, "Hi, this is me." You know, just don't do it. Your birthday's June 19th? Nice. We're close. Sound like your mum? I hope so. I will always advise people to protect themselves on the internet. You know, the internet can be a wild place. You'll get some people that will just hate you for no reason, just because you happen to be there. And that happens in real life as well. It's fine. People can not like you, but if you're not someone that can deal with certain criticism or things that have happened to you, you don't want people making fun of you for it, make sure you don't regret sharing certain information with people. You know, I personally don't really care at all. I don't care. But a lot of people do. And it's like, have you ever had someone that's like really, really self-conscious about, I don't know, arm flab? Have you ever met someone that's really self-conscious about their arm flab? Like, you wouldn't want to be that person that's self-conscious about arm flab, and then someone says, oh, look, it's Mr. Big Arms, and then you go and cry about it. You know what I mean? Anyway. What is the strongest non-VIP heroic? Depends. It really does depend, because there are a lot of really good heroics in this game. A lot of the heroics, you can just use them. In fact, you could use any heroic in this game. I will, however, say, though, that generally, this is very generally, and it's not always going to be true in 100% of scenarios, but generally, the newer heroics have, on average, been slightly better than the old ones. But the reason why that is because ancient world elements weren't really as common before. They're becoming a lot more common now. But dragons like High Drowsy, for instance, have a really good set of elements. Reason being that we've got a lot of meta chaos picks. So just think about it. Blood God Vampire, Sinful Vampire, High Master Karma, for instance. Drowsy counters them. So Drowsy can be really, really good against a lot of meta picks. So that's why High Drowsy, for instance, is considered a very good dragon. High Toy Town also has a nice set of elements. He's also weak to a lot of things as well, which, you know, makes him slightly less desirable like a lot of the meta things, but he's still a really nice pickup. But a lot of these recent dragons, especially the heroic VIPs, of course, they're generally quite good in terms of the elements that they've got. Like, they've got ancient world elements, or they've got time element, wind element. You know, they've got a nice selection of elements, whereas some of the old dragons have, like, flame, plant, sea, and it's like, maybe you'll have one of those, but they're not the most interesting picks. But quite a lot of these newer dragons are the better picks on average. But again, it's very much average, depends on what your actual team is and how you build it as to which is the best pick. Do I have merch? I do actually have merch. I don't really post about it too much, because the only reason I made it was just because people kept begging me years ago. It's literally just the channel logo. I did intend at one point to actually make some proper merch that wasn't just like the logo, but honestly, with everything else that I've got going on, work, everything else, I just genuinely never got around to it. It's an excuse really, but I never got around to making any more. Maybe one day, but I can't guarantee. Okay, I'm not going to promise it. But we've got stuff like I think it's Teespring still that we've got it on. You can get like mugs and stuff with the logo on. I will say that it's quite expensive, because those shops that offer those services generally put a big markup on everything, because, you know, they want to make big profits. But, you know, it's there for anyone that wants it and is willing to pay for it. But, you know, I never push anyone to subscribe. I never push anyone to buy merch, anything like that. I'm just here to chill with you, basically. But it's your choice if you want it. It's there. It exists, but it's just not very, it's not a very complex design. It's not the ideal merch that I would like one day, and I'd love for it to be cheaper, but you can't really do that. I set the price as low as physically possible, so I'm barely making like any money whatsoever on it, but I tried to make it as cheap as possible just to make it acquirable. But, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, they provide a service, but they're going to take a big markup for it, so, you know, don't expect too much. Like, you're going to get much cheaper stuff from Primark, is all I'm saying. But man, we've still got so much runner to do. I was going to play Star Rail, but I always forget just how long these blooming runner event runs take. But, you know, as to be expected, it's the same every time with runner. Again, if Social Point ever wants to halve the time it takes to get all of our pinwheels, that would be great. The only problem would be if they did halve the run times. If they halve the run times, then if you die early, it's going to have a much more negative impact. So I guess the benefit of these runs being quite long is that even if you screw up a couple of times, it doesn't really make much of a difference. but the shorter the runs are and the more points in each of them, the worse it's going to be on average. I guess as long as the points stay the same, it wouldn't matter. But if they like doubled the amount of items per run and then you die early, then, you know, that would be tragic, you know. Oh, you're waiting for Star Rail. They be zooming. Oh god, when it gets to the max speed, when you're at like, what's max speed? At like 40k? Something like that? When you get to that, then it's just zoom, zoom, zoom. And trying to see that on mobile is just AIDS. It's awful. But yeah, why can't we get the Runner Dragon? I don't know why. They never released her, did they? Or am I just being dumb? I don't think they ever released her, at least not in this form. It would be nice to have the Runner Event Dragon just freely available. And realistically, why don't we get her orbs in the Runner event? I don't understand. Maybe they did at one point. But I would love to get tons of her orbs from the Runner event. Imagine if you could just get a guaranteed E5 from Runner events after playing enough of them. That would be sick. I guess it is kind of like that with the Zodiac dragons, like, was it Zodiac Sagittarius and that? You get quite a lot of their orbs. But I would just, it makes sense for the Runner event dragon to be like that, don't you think? Maybe it's just me. But I think that would be cool if they ever did that. But will they? Probably not. I know that tons of people just don't like this event because of how time consuming it is, and also they die very early on, so they don't like it. But I don't know. I just think a version of this event that's slightly shorter, I think it would be a fantastic event. I think it'd be like one of the best event types in a game like this that you can have. But you could just play a better game in general. Keck. Why a duck? Why not? You have to go to the store, have fun. Rainbows? Oh yeah. You don't need to sub to me on alts. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really make much difference to me what the sub count is or anything like that. I mean, the thing that I judge whether the content or anything is good is, was it helpful? Was it entertaining? Did it allow you to waste some time if you were bored? If the answer is yes, that's all I care about. I don't care about anything else. I'd rather it be useful or entertaining rather than just a boredom waste. But that's all I really care about. If it doesn't help you or it's not entertaining, then, you know, I don't really find a use for the content making it. So that's all it comes down to me. And since I have main work as well, it's not like I'm super obsessed with numbers or making stuff up. I'm not into like super clickbaity stuff or anything. Sometimes I do it as a meme, but it's not really clickbait. And normally my titles and that are pretty accurate, I'd say, on average. But no, I don't expect any particular subbing or anything like that. It's not, I don't enjoy that sort of content ever. So no, no expectations from me. If the content helps you, then so be it. If it doesn't, well, I guess we try again. But, oh well. I will say though, that if Honkai Star Rail is getting its update soon, I'm probably going to be playing quite a lot of that. I hope that there's going to be more energy and stuff so that we can play more than just like an hour a day of Honkai Star Rail. But now that I don't have to go to work for like 2 weeks, we can just chill and it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. You didn't clickbait us by not putting stuff. That couldn't fit in the title, okay? Runner is just the wind dragon. Nah, they look completely different. Nah. Runner Event Dragon has a whole set of lore related to her. It's a she. It's got lore. I don't think it's just a wind dragon. When is the next live going to be? I don't know. The reason that I haven't had a live stream in a while is purely being busy, sick, yeah, being busy a lot of it. And so you gotta think, it's like today I basically woke up at 5 AM. I get home at 6:30ish, and then immediately today I basically started streaming. If I try to do that every day, I'd probably die. Well, maybe not die. I think my eyes would die, my legs would die, and so it's probably not a wise thing to do, especially if I ever need to cook, eat properly. So the problem is that I just can't guarantee streams these days usually because I'm just too busy or too exhausted. I used to do a lot more streams back when I was full-time on YouTube, doing like full, back when YouTube was my full-time stuff, but I can't guarantee it anymore. That being said, if I ever do find time to do it, like today I found an excuse to do it, I will try. But again, I can't guarantee it, unfortunately. I don't like making promises and then, you know, not delivering on said promises. So I don't like to promise that I can definitely do streams or set stuff when I really can't. But, you know, if my schedule ever changes or if I ever get slightly less busy, maybe something else happens, I can't see that happening. I can only see myself getting busier, if anything. Especially if I ever have kids. Like, Jesus, my life is going to go from relatively busy to, like, I'm not going to have a spare moment anymore. And maybe then we give up completely. I'm kidding. Alright, have fun, Trey. Why is it you have 60k subs and don't get near 60k views? Maybe you're not really too familiar with how numbers work in terms of sub count. Sub count, especially if you've been uploading for a very long time like me, you're going to have people from different audiences for a start. And secondly, not every single one of your subs is going to want to watch every single video. Especially live streams. Live streams don't work the same as viewership anyway. Live streams, the person has to be physically there at the time. Some people don't like live streams as well, so you're not gonna, on average, have 60,000 viewers for a live stream when you got 60,000 subs. You know what I mean? I also don't have 60,000 subs, so I don't know where you got that from either. But it's just one of those things where you're going to have different sets of audiences, and because I've been uploading for a very long time and I'm not obsessed with sub count and everything, like pushing people to sub and stuff like that, some people don't even get notifications even if they are subbed, and that's just because of weird YouTube stuff that happens with the algorithm. Like, either if you miss a video, or if I say a word and the algorithm picks up that it's a bad word, even if it isn't, it might push you down in the ranking list, stuff like that. And then sometimes your subs don't even get the notifications. The only way that you can guarantee that people actually receive them is by telling them to, like, hit the bell notification and make sure they're fully on. And most people don't do that. I don't do that when I watch stuff either. So you're never going to get 100% notification rate on people either. So it's just one of those things. And again, a lot of my audience have come from very different games, very different communities. And it's not like I'm going for super interesting videos every single time. I just want to do guides and do things that are helpful. I don't want to be clickbaity and, you know, doing crap. You know, you can do tons of stuff to get viewership. Who cares about viewership if it's not helpful? That's my view anyway. Say a good word to go up. What's my goal in the game? Well, since we're at 1,001 dragons now, my only real goal is to keep collecting, to be honest with you. Like, out of everything, I think the only thing that brings any joy to me, empowering dragons is fine. Like, Sinful, we got to max, we got the Thought. Ah, balls! I accidentally clicked that, I didn't mean to. Let's try not to die again. But the Thought, we did get up to max rank as well. So empowering is fine, but the main thing that brings interest to me in this game is collecting. And it's always been like that, even in games like Pokemon and that. I did delve into the battling side of Pokemon games before, way back in the past, but then when you get crit 6 times in a row and get frozen 3 times in a row by a hippopotamus in Diamond and Pearl, you give up. At least I did. So my main draw to games like this is the collecting aspect, not necessarily the battling, not necessarily the leveling up, it's mainly the collecting. So I'm just going to keep collecting stuff. if I ever get to a point in this game where I feel like I can't really collect many things anymore, either because they change how the game works or anything like that, maybe I'll just stop playing. Maybe by then we'll have Mobile Chow Garden to exist. Sega, I'm looking at you, or whoever owns Sonic these days. If they ever do that, I can't see me playing a game like this ever again. Like, if we get Chow Garden Mobile and it's actually decent, like, this game is dead to me. That's what I'm waiting for. If I ever get that, I'm never going to touch a game like this ever again. I mean, we've even got Honkai and Genshin, which I would say are just better games than this. But you can't get all of the collecting stuff in Honkai and Genshin, so that's one thing that this game has over them. But it's free to play, so it's not like it costs me anything. You just lost to a 3k HP Karma Dragon? Yep, it happens. If you do shoutouts in one of your videos, can you shout out One Piece recaps? Yeah, One Piece! How much longer is the stream? Dunno. I kind of wanted to use as many of these stamps as possible and do my Honkai Star Rail reset for today as well. So, maybe a little bit longer. Yeah, I do play Pokemon. I've been playing Pokemon since I was 0, actually. I basically grew up with Pokemon. That is where my heart lies. I mean, I've got my booster box of Paldea Evolved arriving in a few days. I spent like 140 quid on that. I'm really, really hoping for a bird card, like a Squawkabilly ideally, or a Flamigo, or a Quackalakes. If I don't get any of those, I will probably cry. Okay, I won't cry. I want to cry, but I won't cry. But, you know, that's the sort of thing that I spend my money on. Dragon City is just like a free-to-play game to chill out with, and occasionally, you know, crap post with, but Pokemon is where the heart lies. You know, it's just, there's so much stuff. You've grown up with them. Well, I have, so I'm just a hell of a lot more attached to it than this game. Know what I mean? I mean, this game, I was playing this about 10 years ago, but I stopped playing it as soon as I beat my friend in terms of level. That's the only reason that I played this game 10 years ago, just so that I could out-level my friend, and then that was it. I never touched this game again until, well, I say that's a lie. I touched it once more for one evening, taking the piss out of it, and then I came back last June during my birthday last year. But that is basically my life cycle with Dragon City. The game's a lot better than it used to be 10 years ago, but it doesn't mean that Dragon City is a game I consider a good one. Like, it is basically just because it's free to play, and there's lots of free to play stuff to collect. That's the reason I'm here. And, of course, we delved into the hell that was DML for 8 years. What is my favourite dragon in Dragon City? I don't even know. I don't know. I don't think I have a specific favourite, which, hey, there we go. Pixie Wife and this ugly, ugly boy. Wonderful. You named your Quaxley Mother Ducker? Fair enough. You've never opened Paldea Evolved? It is brand new, so doesn't surprise me. I pre-ordered it on the Pokemon Center website, so I'm pretty much getting it day one for what you can get it if you pre-order it on the online store. So yeah, we'll see. What dragons am I going to go for in the new event? Which new event are we talking about? There are many new events coming. You hope that the next Divine Pass Dragon won't be a Dream main dragon? We'll see. We'll see very soon. But nah, I would say that we have had a lot of Dream Dragons recently, especially, you know, with the Norn that just came out not long ago. But at the same time, Dream is very, very valued against all the Chaos Dragons at the moment, still. But I feel like we've got a lot of them now, so maybe people will start looking at other selections, like Soul Dragons a little bit more. Drowsy moment. But But yeah, I think that as time goes on, I did say this like 10 months ago, but as we get more and more ancient world balls, I'm just gonna gem it, screw it. But as we get more and more ancient world elements that get released, I think we will indeed see ancient world elements as a whole becoming less desirable, and maybe the basic elements are going to become a lot more used in the meta again. I think right now certain ancient world elements are still very, very overvalued because of the meta. I think it just will change slowly as we get more and more of those dragons over time, but only time will tell. Maybe we'll get even newer elements by then. We'll have tons of new elements and tons of new dragons, and then maybe ancient world elements will stay very good. Who knows? But this game is very slow in terms of its meta progression, really. So we shall see. We shall see how things change, which dragons become the top meta picks in, say, 6 months' time. I don't think it's going to change. Ugh, God, I'm getting distracted. But I don't think it's going to change that much. Did I get to door 50 in Wizard's Hollow? No. Are Karmas easy to get? No. Out of all the dragons in the game, I would say that Karmas are some of the most difficult. Mainly just because they don't really release them very much. Now, I will say that the Walking Dead dragons are going to become infinitely more difficult to get from this point onwards, so they're going to be a lot harder to get than Karmas. But Karmas mainly are available at the moment in ads, and not really anywhere else, apart from Kung Flo that was in Wizard's Hollow. But Wizard's Hollow is just RNG. Of course, if you've got tons of gems saved, you can guarantee it, but you need a lot of gems to guarantee it, and sometimes you're just going to get unlucky and not get them. But you have to get at least a certain amount of gems saved up to guarantee those dragons. But Karmas, they're not really available in many ways. It's just like Corrupted Legend in a sense. The only way to get Corrupted Legend is by collecting all of the other Corrupteds, and Corrupteds are still, but they were even more of a pain in the butt to get before. But Corrupteds, as a lot more of them have been available recently, that means that Corrupted Legend and Corrupted Chaos are a little bit easier to get now than they were before. But that still doesn't mean that they're easy to get by any stretch. So if they start bringing out more Karmas in the same way that they've been releasing Redemption Dragons and Corrupted Dragons, maybe Karmas will actually become, you know, a lot more acquirable. But depends on what Social Point want to do. I think they really overvalue Karmas because the community really overvalues Karmas. I don't like Karmas because they're not consistent. But that's the reason why the community loves them, because they can either completely decimate a team or they can be absolutely useless. I think they like how random they are. I don't. I don't like Karmas at all. But, you know, that's just my thing. Have I ever played Dragon Veil? I have. I played Dragon Veil and I played the 3D version of Dragon Veil many years ago. I will not touch them again. Apart from HMK, which Karma is considered the most powerful? That would generally... no, I don't want to search by heroics only. It would generally be Grace, Fragmented, and Ambition Karma. Now, I love Ambition Karma. Not the Karma bit, I don't like Karmas, but I love the design of Ambition Karma, and having Soul as a primary element is really interesting. I think that it's a nice element to have on this dragon. Fragmented is picked because Chaos Primary, which, since we've had more Dream Element dragons getting released, Fragmented isn't quite as good as they were, say, a few months ago, but they're still quite a good pick. And then we've got Grace Karma, who is a pure dragon. Now, we did get a lot of primals recently as well, so Grace is another one that hasn't, well, has gotten technically slightly worse than they were, say, 6 months ago. But Grace is still a nice pickup for a dragon as well. The others, like, I don't really like Courageous. I don't like that primary element personally. I do not like War primary element. I also don't like Ice primary element personally, so I'm not a massive fan of Endurance Karma. it depends really, but the shadow, fire, and, well, water, sea is kind of but it's kind of common. But definitely fire and shadow elements are very common elements in Master and just in general on your way up to Master. So I do not like this as a primary element personally. But again, as meta changes and things change, anything can happen. Let's open up our red chest while we're here. Do you think there will be more corrupted quests? I don't know. I don't know. We've got another one this time around during this event, but I'm not sure if they're going to keep doing it. We'll have to wait and see. Revival Karma's your favourite? That's fair enough. Ambition's a hottie though. VIP twins done? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. What do we get? Thanks. It's about what I expected, to be honest. My luck in these chests has been... it's been a moment. Let's just say that. Look, at least that chest earlier was okay, right? But yeah, those Norn chests have not been going great. The best drop that I've actually gotten from all of the Norn chest types has been 100 Doom Dragon Orbs, and that's the best drop that I've gotten so far. So considering it's not even a full dragon, I'd say it's been pretty dreadful so far. So, you know, sometimes you're gonna have spells like this during events where you're someone that just gets food, tokens, basically nothing out of the event chest. But then maybe other times you're just gonna get like 6 really, really good chests in a row. I had that happen once during a puzzle event actually. Like I went, I think it was 3 months with basically nothing out of puzzle. And then I had one singular puzzle event where I got, I think it was 2 heroics just out of the chest. Like the maximum food drops out of all the food chests. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And it's just RNG, it's just randomness. Like sometimes you're gonna have an awful time, other times you're gonna have a great time. Like these Norn chests, there are certain people that have gotten HMK, High Corrupt Time, a duplicate Norn out of these chests. Like I'm talking duplicate heroic VIPs. And then most other people are just gonna be sitting there with like a few Joker Orbs and maybe a Redemption Dragon. This game is not fair. It's inherently not fair. It's made to not be fair, so it frustrates you so that then you spend money. As long as you're aware of that, so that they can't, you know, suck you in, then, you know, at least you're aware of it. You got Doom the other day. I got Doom as well, but I had to summon it using some Jokers, but I don't regret it. He's a beautiful boy. We got him, so... You got Brutality. Any full dragon is better than nothing, right? Are you the only one that can't complete an epic rescue? Well, you need to collect dragons, level up dragons, get stronger dragons so that you can do your rescues. I can almost one cycle legendary rescues now, but that's taken like a year basically of collecting dragons, empowering dragons, having tons of level 40 plus dragons now. I say tons, not compared to some people, but, you know, eventually the goal would be to be able to one cycle legendary rescues in case we do ever get, you know, if you remember that Hierophant rescue that we got recently. Really, really good to be able to one cycle that and be able to do it as quickly as possible. So the more dragons you collect, the more that you level up, empower them, the better off you're gonna be. So my tip would just be get as much food as you can, get as many dragons as you can, get ready for rescues. But you know, it's pretty simple. You just gotta collect more stuff basically. It takes a long time, but being able to single cycle legendary rescues is a good ideal to be at. And then obviously you got arena. Maybe you want to have tons of level 70s for arena, which is fine. And then leagues, you just need level 40 plus dragons to deal with leagues, so they're not a problem. It's mainly arena and, yeah, I would say rescues that would be like the ultimate end game. Oh god, I nearly crashed there. I started pressing the wrong button. That would not be good. No bueno at crashing into that rock right there. But, you know, at least we get to 115. I'm not going to complain too much about a run that we do. But 120 is, of course, the goal. You got Sinful? Not bad. Am I going to be doing any arena battles? I don't know. I don't know if I could be bothered. Unless there's a really good reason to do arena, I typically tend not to. One, because I don't want to overrank for no reason. Like, we can get to Master 3 if we need, it's fine, we can do that whenever. I just don't like to rush it, because then we could end up going against really, really high-level dragons. And since I don't have tons of level 70s yet, I do have to be a little bit careful. Especially if we get Arena Alliance chests, that sort of thing. Although we did get one recently, so we've got a full cycle to go through yet. You had Usurper, but you had to restart. That's fine, because again, this game works off of basically seed-based stuff, so whatever your drop was before, when you log back in and open up, say, that chest or whatever, it should be the same drop when you open it back up again. And that's why it's a good thing that it's seeded. It comes with some downsides, but one of the really good things about it working the way it does is that if your game does crash, you lose connection and the game just conks out, whatever, it means that when you reopen it, you're gonna get the same drop. So it's not like you're gonna, you know, your game's gonna break and then suddenly you miss out on your really cool reward, because again, you're gonna get the same drop again when you open it. So that's one thing that if you weren't sure about, at least now you know, so you don't have to panic thinking, oh god, I've lost my insane, the bestest this drop ever because my game crashed. No, it's going to be there when you open up again. So it's also an easy way to catch people out that are lying, because if they say that, you know, oh, I got this really, really insane, the best drop in the game, and then someone says, okay, we'll open up the game and you'll get it again, and they say, oh no, it was actually 50 Joker orbs. Well, you know that they were lying, because it would be the same drop when you log back in again. So keep that in mind, and if you were trying to lie to anyone about that, not saying you in the chat, but just in general, if you were ever going to lie about your drops, keep that in mind. What are the best perks for High Voodoo? I know a lot of people put Phoenix on there just so that it's got the revive damage perks mainly as well. It depends. I'm not someone that's dealt with hundreds and hundreds of perks, so I can't give you full advice on that because, again, I'm free to play. But I do see a lot of people put damage on him at least. What do I think about Global Fire and Ice? Is it worth taking part in? I would say definitely, because if you weren't aware with this global challenge, we are actually going to have quests for this dragon here. This Faith Fatal dragon, we are going to have Faith Fatal quests. And so, if you get this Faith Fatal dragon, you get it empowered once even, you're going to get free stuff from the quest. So, just in case you aren't sure what I'm talking about, let's open up Ditlep, for example, because I'm pretty sure it's on here. And if we go to the quest section, we've got Dark Quest here, which is going to start on the 8th of the 6th, so it's in a couple of days when that event's over. And you'll see that we have gems and food as a free reward. So basically, if you want to finish off all of these quests, you'll need a level 50 Faith Fatal, which is of course 2 empowerment stars, 40 plus 5 plus 5, it's 2 empowerment. And you can get 80 gems just from that final stage if you manage to get it empowered. The only thing is, of course, you'd have to actually get it empowered within that time frame. And getting it empowered within that time frame means you need the orbs immediately. So the way to do that is going to be to get enough orbs from the Fire and Ice challenge to get it fully empowered. And so I think if you can get a 2-star Faith Fatal dragon and just pick up tons of bonus gems, super duper worth it, to be honest. So yeah, I think that most people should be taking part in this challenge, ideally if they just want free stuff. Of course, if you're doing particular event breeding or other breeding, I can understand maybe getting, you know, sidetracked. But we've also got the global count, which you're going to help towards as well. But with 2 days, 14 hours left, you might struggle with some or you're probably going to struggle to get up to 35, for instance. But one really good thing about this breeding, if you didn't know, is that if you breed together a dragon that's like a flame dragon with a dragon that's got flame plus ice, if you breed the flame dragon from that breeding combination, that will still count towards your score. So if you get really, really lucky and breed a bunch of commons, that's really good for your fire and ice challenge. And so in theory, if you got insanely lucky and just kept breeding flame dragons over and over again, you could get to 35 in no time. But again, it depends on what your luck is, and usually you will end up probably getting the 1 day timer if you're unlucky. Like I've gotten tons of those so far. What is it, 8-hour breed with VIP or reduced time breeding dens? You get quite a lot of those for Soccer Dragon. But if you get lucky with the Flame Dragon, it will help you with your Fire and Ice challenge. So keep all of that in mind. Oh, we got another ghosty. Let's open them up. You play too much Dragon City? Fair. Your best dragon is High Treasure? High Treasure is a pretty good dragon, so that's not too bad. Is there any VIP heroic you would like to get? Honestly, not really, which may sound ridiculous, but the thing is, I just don't really like how a lot of them look. To me, when I'm playing games like this, I love collecting things, I like leveling things up, but I have to have some sort of connection with the dragon or the creature, whatever it is, depending on the game, for me to really want to, you know, fully empower them. So to me, as much as having something strong matters, having something that I just like the look of, or I have some sort of connection with, is far more important. That's just to me. Not everyone's like that. Some people just want the bestest dragon ever, or, I don't know, the cuddliest looking dragon ever. To me, I just want the one that I like the most, and I want to be able to take that one to, you know, max in power, destroy 5 million enemy dragons with it. That's my way of playing anyway. How did I get Corrupted War? By playing the arena for the last arena period. If you weren't aware, during the previous arena, you were able to get War Dragon Orbs. So that's how I got them. Corrupted War. Do you play the TCG? I don't. I did a little bit many years ago, but not anymore. Not anymore. Cheese? Oh, I like me some cheese, that's for sure. But yeah, we're still making our way through this green path. That's where the orangey brown key is there. We're going to pick up another jar. But, you know, we've got another ghosty to collect. So we're getting little tidbits of gems here. We're getting Orbs of High Priest, so I'm not against that. But we're nearly at the heroic jokers here. Oh god, my chair's being loud. Best Cat 9? I would say probably the Walking Dead dragons. Probably. Can you get back to DC? It's been 26 days. I don't know, can you? If you've got a problem, maybe ask support. It's unfortunately not something that I can help you with, as I'm not part of... Oh, balls, I wasn't watching. Don't look at chat, me. But I am not part of Dragon City support. But if there's any reason you can't get into the game, and it's not because you've been banned, try and contact them. If you can't contact them via the game, because again you can't get in, then contact them via the contact support section on their website. But I can't see a reason why you wouldn't be allowed to play unless you were outright banned. Unless your connection just isn't strong enough to play the game, then maybe. But yeah, you'll see that we've done good work on this runner event so far. How many times have we died early? Is it 3 or 4? And honestly, I'm willing to spend 5 gems sometimes if I screw up. If it's my own fault, I don't like screwing up, so sometimes I'll spend 5 gems to somewhat rectify it. But if I get at least 100-ish or 110-ish, I'm probably not going to be gemming it. Because at that point, we're only going to get, what, an extra 10 pinwheels? Like, I don't care about that. Now, if we die at 30, then I care. Oh, balls. Well, there we go. That's what I get. I'm getting distracted again. 110 is fine. But I'm not going to be spending 5 gems for 10 pinwheels. Unless I'm, like, super desperate for something, you know? Do you just collect cards on Pokemon? I play the games. I play all the games. I always have. Again, I've been playing the game since I was like 0. So I collect the cards. I've got tons of Pokemon stuff behind me in that cupboard there. But I mainly just play the games. That's what I do. Like, I set up my GameCube and my Wii again recently, so I was playing Pokemon Channel. I've got Pokemon Coliseum downstairs. We got tons of stuff to be playing. You have red and blue? Yeah, I've got those downstairs. I've got green. I've got the really old games. Which is better, meatballs or balls? That's very vague. Meatballs or just balls in general. That could be any kind of balls. That could be cheese balls. That could be balls that you bounce in the store. It could be mail balls. Could be many types of balls. It's too vague. It's too vague of a question, I'm sorry. You'll have to be more explicit. And by explicit, I do not mean sexual. I just mean direct of what balls we are talking about. Oh my god, why do I keep moving too quickly? I'm getting too distracted by the talk of balls. It's too much for my wee brain to process. Balls and DC. No, I can't think about both at once. One or the other. SMH me. But anyway, we're back to 110 this time. At least we haven't screwed up too many times. I say that. Now if all of the rest of my runs are terrible, I blame you. Yes, you, not me. It's definitely not going to be my fault if I screw up. Yeah? I'm glad that we agree. But, yeah, it's good to do runner event with someone else there, so you're not just alone doing this event over and over again. You haven't seen a person. I don't know which person you're talking about. There are no people here. No human beings on this channel. The balls are distracted. Stop! Stop talking about balls when I'm trying to do DC. I cannot think about both at once. I don't know what you mean by how am I so good. Up to the max speed, this event is super easy. Like, really easy. Especially compared to other games that I've played before. It's just, you've got to be consistent with this event. I think staying focused is actually the hardest part of the event for me. Because when you lose focus, you just start like tapping too early, not really paying attention, that sort of thing. But now that I've played this event so many times, I'm barely even looking at the screen a lot of the time. Like, I'm more often looking at the camera or looking at chat. And honestly, I should not be doing that because maybe I could have guaranteed 120 on every run. Okay, that probably wouldn't have happened. But I probably would have been doing slightly better than what we've done, which, to be fair, our scores have been pretty good still. But, you know, every score counts. If I miss out on the second XL food box because I did a couple of bad runs, I'm going to feel pretty bad about it, you know? We need those XL food boxes for the heroic race that's coming up. And also, if we're going to level up Faye Fatal, if we manage to get enough orbs for her. We've also got Phoenix that we need to level up. Oh my god, there's so many dragons to level up. I am going to have an army of level 40 pluses soon. Just watch. I'm going to have Phoenixes. I'm going to have weird bug dragons. We're going to have all sorts of stuff at level 40. I mean, we already do. We've got loads of level 40s, which I can only think about the amount of food I've wasted over time on the amount of level 40s we've got. I say waste, some of them are pretty good ones, but then others, maybe not so much, like Neo Izumi. Do I like the balls? I like the balls. What was my first Dragon City video? My first Dragon City video, I think, was back in like 2014, was it? It would have been around about then, I think. Am I going to do a meet and greet? Probably not. No plans anytime soon anyway. How to get more food from chests and events? You level up. That's genuinely the answer. The higher your player level is, you get put into different brackets of like amounts that you earn. The way to get more food from chests is to level up your player level. But of course, if by leveling up your player level it means that you can't do your league battles, I would suggest against that. Make sure that you can do your league battles first, and by that I mean have dragons that can beat any level 40s in the game. because league battles cap at level 40. And then once you do that, then you can level up to your heart's content, go crazy with the leveling up. It's like, I'm about to hit level 100 very soon, and I believe level 100 we are going to hit a new bracket. I'm not sure if it's on the food chest, but definitely in certain alliance stuff. Like if you remember when we had the feeding alliance chests, which to be fair, we haven't had those for a while. I believe level 100 plus had different brackets. Now, I'll have to confirm it for myself if we ever get it again, but I'm pretty sure that that's how it worked. But we are about to hit the level 100 plus crew. So there's that. And don't even mention quests to me. I'm so annoyed that after this many years, they just haven't brought out any more basic quests for players that have finished all the other quests. Like, how is that fair for puzzle events? Like, why, if you've just played for a long time, are you punished as a player? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why are you punished for playing the game? I don't agree with that. I'm really annoyed at Social Point for that. Not just because it affects me, but just because it's illogical. Same with league battles. Like, why does it cost so much more in terms of league battles to do them and gem them than it does for a new player? Doesn't make any sense to me. It should be the same cost for everyone. Like, I'm not saying new players should have to spend more than the old players, but I think it should be the same cost for everyone. Doesn't make sense why there's so much of a massive disparity in terms of how much the costs are, you know? And maybe that's just me. What are some quick ways to level up? Habitats. Upgrading your habitats. You get tons of XP for upgrading those. You're stuck because you have no imp dragon. Unlock those legendary rescues. They just need a roll dragon. Oh my god, I only just saw your comment. Soul event is so good, so many jokers. To be honest, yeah, it's really not too bad. I mentioned this earlier. The fact that they've been bringing out lots of jokers recently, I am all for it. But I hope that this doesn't mean that they're thinking about adding another empowerment star. Because imagine if they've been like, oh, do you want more Joker orbs? Here you go. Here are some heroic Jokers. Here are some legendary Jokers. Oh yeah, we've got 6 stars now. That would... imagine. I don't want to imagine it, but imagine. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? Was Ebony a fun game to play? I don't know if fun was is the word that I would use. I would say it was interesting for the kind of game that it was. I didn't expect so much complexity, I guess, from a mobile game of that kind. The puzzles, however, were very annoying. They weren't really very entertaining, personally. I would say the map and how all of that works was probably the most interesting part, especially depending on what sort of alliance you were in. I don't think it was fun. I wouldn't recommend playing it. I think for a reward game, it was fine. It's definitely, you know, something that I would potentially play again for the rewards that we got in this game, but I would not just play the game to play the game, personally. Not enjoyable enough for that. I think you'd have a lot more fun playing The Sims or Civilization, those games. Oh, there we go, we're dead. But I think those games do that much better than Ebony does that. So that's why I can't really recommend Ebony. I think there are just better options elsewhere. But Ebony is free to play, so if you want a free to play variant, there's that. Balls, indeed. Game good. There are some games that are quite good, but then I think that there are, in some cases, games that are just the objective better version of that game. And so I can't really recommend a game if I think that personally there's just an objectively better version of it elsewhere. But obviously that doesn't mean that that's necessarily true, because it's going to be subjective if you're asking my opinion or anyone else's opinion. But I just think like SimCity, for instance, is a really good simulator of that kind. You've got all the other simulator games. It's like Farming Simulator. That's like the peak of farming simulator games, right? You might have other games that try and simulate farming, but nothing will do it like Farming Simulator does. It's the true OG peak. So, yeah, I find it difficult to recommend certain games. It's like Dragon City. If I had someone come up to me and said, what collecting game would you recommend? It wouldn't be this one. And it's purely for that reason. This game is fine. It's free to play. You can achieve a lot free to play. But I feel like Pokemon, Stardew Valley even, Slime Rancher. Oh god, I wasn't paying attention again. But those sorts of games I would consider just better, you know. And then we've got, oh, what's the name? Rathalos, the Rathalos game. I forgot what the name is. Monster Hunter. We've got Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Stories, really, really good collection game as well. So those sort of games I think are just a better version of this one, to be honest with you. But that doesn't mean that this game doesn't have its place. This game has its place as a game that you can play on the train or just faffing around. There's not really too much to it. You don't have to devote tons of time to it. It's a very casual game that you can just play for 5 minutes and still get quite a lot of value out of. So I still think there's a place somewhere for games like this. I just can't recommend them personally. Maybe you disagree, that's fine. We can disagree. We don't have to agree on everything, but you know, it's like, I wouldn't say Dragon City is a good game. I would say it's an okay game, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and crap on it because, you know, the dragons look cool, some of them, and, you know, we get to faff around, but I would just say that open your mind, open your heart to many different kinds of collecting games, and it will make you a better gamer overall, you know? Why are you spamming balls in the chat? If you spam it again, I'm probably going to time you, so please stop spamming balls in the chat. I understand, maybe you are very gay, maybe you are very obsessed with balls, but there's only so much ball obsession that we can deal with. So that is my warning. If the next time I look at the chat you're still spamming balls, I'm just going to time you. So, well, if there's only one person. If there's more of you spamming balls, that's fine. If we're all together expressing our love for balls, that is more than acceptable. But if it's just one person, it just becomes a little bit needy, you know what I mean? If it's all of you, that's fine. How'd you get all the event dragons? Just by playing, logging in. I don't really do anything crazy. You know, I don't buy them. Balls Empire. Again, as long as we're all joining in with the balls, it's fine. It's just, we gotta share the love. We gotta share it. That's what it comes down to. So, anyway, we have some more currency now after playing that. So that means that we can continue on this green path and make our way towards this brown key a little bit more. More rewards for us to pick out. Let's see what we get out of this Raven chest. Is this going to be a double? It is, but we can't watch the doubles, which, screw us, right? Screw you, PC players. Social Point doesn't care about PC players. Their ads don't work. Your YouTube just crashed? That's because you were talking about balls too much. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Star Rail in a moment because we have gotten through all of the stuff that I wanted to get through in terms of DC for now. We got all of our stamps done. We got, well, we're about to spend all of our maze coins for now, so we can get our gelatin boy. We can get another jar. Very cool. And then I'm going to do my Star Rail reset before I head off. So yeah, Jar of Souls times 5? Times 3, that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, one more step and then we are going to be on Empty's path and make our way through to this guy, potentially. But now we are sitting at 74 ghosts, which is pretty good. That is not bad at all. Why no T pronunciation? I don't know. I'm kind of half English, half Australian. Maybe that's it. You know, people in the UK all sound very different, and there's so many different pronunciations for things if you're in the UK, so I think I'm just a weird mishmash of lots of things. Maybe that's it. Because not everyone sounds like a Londoner, amazingly enough. But either way, we are nearly there to Psych, So we will hopefully get this dragon very soon. And then I'm hopefully going to be picking up these 2 jars. Maybe we'll get this XL food box depending on ad drops or anything else. But we will continue to make our way through in this event, getting as much as we can, getting these food boxes, and making our way and getting the final ghosties that we need for the collection. But I guess we will collect Recall Dragon quickly, because we got tons of these soccer dragons. And then we will vamoose over to your boy Honkai. But where are they? Let's recall this boy, because we're getting tons of them from the Fire and Ice challenge. I'm going to skip one of these later because I can't do it right now. You can't find the island of Speedy and Grady. It's this one. The green one, the nature one, right here. That one. But, anywho's, I think that is all the DC stuff. So, again, it was our big 1K celebration today. Our big 1001, technically. So our next goal is going to be 1500, I think. I don't know if we'll ever get to 2000. Well, we will if we keep playing eventually, but, you know, free to play is going to take a long while. We got all of these annoying dragons to start breeding, so the amount of time it's going to take us to get to 1500 versus 1000 is probably going to take around about the same amount of time, maybe even more now, because now it's mainly limited time dragons and annoying breeds. So it's going to be a challenge from here on out. But look at Mr. Odin. Dragon collection only. What pain. What am I going to do when I reach 80k subs? I don't know. I don't really celebrate sub count because the sub count number itself doesn't really matter. Because, again, what matters to me is whether I was entertaining, useful, whatever it is in terms of the content. If you just sub to me but I'm not helpful and I'm not that entertaining, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, you can buy free sub bots, but they don't really mean anything. At least not to me. But either way, that is our 1K stream for now. I think we should go and get our lovely, lovely Honkai ready. And have you seen? My Honkai's being eaten by a bird. Being devoured. Eaten. Oh wait, there's an update? Oh my god. What pain. Don't tell me the stream's gonna go down when I'm busy trying to download this update. That would be typical, wouldn't it? What's better, cubes or balls? I'd say on average balls, but it depends on what the cube's made of. Depends. But you know, balls are pretty good. I mean, the first thing I think about when I think about balls is not male genitalia. I'm thinking about mochi ice cream. Mochi ice cream balls are pretty stellar. They're the first thing I think of, okay? Okay, we did your installation. Are you ready now? Yes. You just joined and I'm saying balls, get used to it. Anyway, it wasn't even me that started, it was chat. Don't blame me, blame chat. It wasn't me. But yeah, we just did like 2 hours of Dragon City if you just joined in now. So that's why we're back at Honkai now. So yeah, the stream VOD should go up soon, as like pretty much as soon as the live stream ends. It should go up under the live section, so you can always watch that if you want. But you definitely weren't involved, SMH Gavin. How loud is this to you? I'm trying to think, because I've got this muted basically. Is it a little on the loud side, or is it is it fine? Is it on the quiet side? What do we think? Oh, we've got Sampo here. I'm really tired. I want to quit. What do you think? No, you can't quit, Sampo-chan. Absolutely not, Sampo-chan. You cannot be quitting on me. I can't think of what else you do besides scamming people. No, we want to get in with Sampo. Me, no, I will not accept this. Like, what is this? What is this behavior? I can't think of what else you can do aside from... This is not getting laid behavior. This I don't accept. You think it's fine? Okay, I'm going to accept it as it's fine for now then. You're so funny. I'm still a traveling merchant in my daily hustle. It's not anything illegal. I just want to do a small business and live a simple life. That sounds good to me. For that to happen, I have to have a capital. You can live with me, Senpai baby. Yes, shower with me. Yes. No! No! Are you real? Oh! Oh. Are you really no, that should not end there. Fumbled it. I can't believe we fumbled it with Sampo. Can you believe it? Oh, this is the worst. I hate this. I hate it when there's every opportunity to get in his pants and it's not letting me. Minecraft or Ball Simulator? I would say Ball Simulator. Cannot believe this. I'm absolutely triggered. Ugh. But either way, we've got version 1.1 coming up, of course. We are currently Trailblaze level 53. We've got a few level 70s on this account now. But the main thing that I'm doing at the moment is just trying to get the rest of them up to 70. Because like we got Natasha to 70 yesterday. I want to get Serval and Steve up to level 70 today. So I think maybe we will do some more... Yeah, I think maybe we'll do some more level up stuff, but let's go and do our daily mission first. Where are we going? We're going to this place again. Where are we going?
You rest.
They're having a date. Who the hell are you? I've seen you many times, Saline, and I've never read it, what you've been saying. He said that my strings stirred his heart, and to that tune his flute played all through the night. I could feel something deep in the harmony. I know I'm still young, but I'm sure he's the one. La la la. Okay, so she's mentally unhinged. Ah, are you here for my singing again? That won't do. You need to enjoy the performance in the theatre. Or are you here for something else? Yeah, are you okay there? Thanks to you, everything's going great. I can already see my dazzling figure on stage. One day, I'm going to be just like her. Speaking of which, can you please help me with just one thing? Go on. All this intel you brought me is fantastic, but it's still second-hand info, and by the time it reaches me, it's already third-hand. Could you please go and see for yourself how Tamila looks when she's off stage? I heard she's going to the workshop. Please, can you go to the workshop and observe what she's up to? Thank you so much. Ooh, woo. Ugh. You think she's being needy? Like she wants to be the queen biatch, and she's just feeling... She's feeling outdone. I think that's what's going on here. The world with magical anime girls and boys has an iPhone. Yes? How else are you going to take pictures of them? Come on. It's logical. It's obvious. You need a phone to take pictures of Sampo. Terrible. Okay, here is this skank. What's up? Oh, a customer. Tamila, what's up? Nothing much. I just thought you're a singer too, aren't you? I'm nothing compared to a big star like you. It's just a hobby of mine. Don't say that. Good art isn't determined by whether or not you can make money off of it. Recently, I've been wondering whether or not this bottleneck I seem to have reached is due to being limited by my singing style. That's why I came to chat with you. Maybe your rock music vocals can help make a breakthrough to a higher level. Interesting. Come backstage with me and let's have a chat. Don't get your hopes up. We come from different professions, right? Oh god, I don't care about this. Oh, these daily quests make me suicidal. Oh. I don't know what it is. Some of these daily quests are just... They're a bit too mundane. Oh. I don't know. There's a couple of alright ones. I remember some of the ones from Genshin as well, but... He said that my string stirred his heart. Oh, shut up, Saline. Oh, I see. I have a deeper understanding of Tamila now. Thank you. Here's a token of my appreciation. Your Highness, you must shield yourself from all mirrors of the world, even the serene lakes. You must ask for her true name and banish that duplicitous succubus. Alright, lady big words. Do you even know what they mean? Bet you don't, skank. Anyway, we need to level up a relic. I'm just going to do one of these. I don't even care. This one. Backstory. Why does a random piece of armor have a backstory? That is... terrible. That is ridiculous. That should not be a thing. Am I doing universe? Oh, I don't know. My voice is killing me. Yeah, I do a lot of teleporting in this game because I just don't want to walk very far. Complete Forgotten Hall one time? Really? Oh, do we really have to do Forgotten Hall? I don't want to do that. Take a picture. Okay, I'm going to take a picture. What are we going to take a picture of? Can I'm going to take a picture of the thought. Look at this. Look at her. Pretentious little skank. There we go. I'm going to save it. I'm never going to forget you. There we go. Claim. And let's do the calyx then, because we were going to do this anyway. Let's do at least 6 of these, because we really need XP stuff. We've got a beautiful boy Sampo in there. We've got Sealer. But yeah, look, we've got a full 70 squad. That's what I'm talking about. That's the good stuff. We could just auto-play this as well. But genuinely, these guys do really well. We don't even need, like, the super OP buffing builds. We don't need that. You hear screaming from the children in your basement. Very cool. Very nice. I personally don't have any children. I also don't have any basements, so maybe that's it. Maybe everyone that owns a basement just happens to have that happen, but luckily for us, we don't have that issue here. I've just realized you can't see the main character health. It's okay. He's never gonna die. He is indestructible. He's basically our main shield babe. Because again, we've got Steve, aka Gepard, that we still need to max level here, so we'll do that in a second. But I am really looking forward to getting some more wishes done in this new update, because I feel like after week 1, we got like barely any wishes past that point. And I'm really looking forward to getting some more wishes done. Just a few more. I'm feeling like I really need some. But you just heard screaming children from your neighbor's basement. There you go. Lance, forward. Yeah. God, I love him. He's wonderful. You see, I see people all the time simp for the female MC in this game. It's because Honkai players have no taste. I'm sorry. They have no taste. The male MC is the outright better pick. I'm sorry. It was the same with Genshin. Everyone used to simp for the female still. And it was always the male. The male was superior. Always. I just cannot. I cannot deal with people that have no taste. You know? Ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. Male MC is superior. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. I will be the one to say it forever, and I will fight him. I will fight for his corner always. Personally. But you just can't change some people. Some people just don't know quality when it's in front of them. It's true. Can we do a single warp yet? No! We're like 9 off. No! We're not gonna get him, are we? We're not gonna get him. Anyway, let us level up. Let's do Serval first. Oh, no, let's not unselect. Or deselect, I should say. I hate having to click this. I guess it could auto-add them though, right? There you go. Let's auto-add. There we go. They've all been added. 68. Oh, we gotta take her to 69. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to do some more of this. Sorry. I'm legally obligated to get her to level 69.
What a headache.
Oh, need to autoplay it. But, yeah, I will say that Seal does an insane amount of damage from my experience, which is not new news to anyone. But I was originally planning my full male squad cast to be my main 4. But unfortunately, we've only got a healer in the form of Natasha. And Seal is just very strong. And she says her lovely line about the butterflies, so If we get a good replacement for her that is a male, we will definitely replace her, but right now we're just sort of stuck with her as the good pick. So many colors? Oh yeah, this is in full speed. It seems like there's tons going on, but I think after like the first 2 weeks of playing this game, this almost looks slow to me now. It's like you just get so used to it, and now if we ever go to like slow speed, I feel like I'm living in slow-paced hell. I can't. Do I like Jing Yuan? As a character, not really. In terms of how powerful he is when buffed, yeah, he's good. But I don't really care for him that much. I was only trying to pull for him because he was banner, and because, you know, I know he's a good pick generally. He's really good against certain bosses. But he's not my man. He's not. I would say I prefer Steve. I prefer Steve. I imagine you're talking about Dragon City or DML. This isn't quite DML or DC right now. But disappear among the sea of butterflies. Oh, shut up. Jesus. I've heard it so many times. There are certain voice lines that really get to me. Others I don't care about, like Lance, Forward. Who would care about that? I can't even hear this game right now, and I already, it's in my brain. It's infectious. Illusions of the past. Illusions of the past. To betray my customers. You'll donate $5. Why? You don't need to. Keep your $5. Buy a nice breaded snack. It's the best thing you can do with $5, TBH. Okay. We will successfully do our legally obligated level 69ing of Serval. Woo! Fantastic. Now we can start leveling up Steve a little bit. Actually, let's auto add 66. We're getting close. That Pokemon Tag Pack. Why would I do that? Is it playing 24/7 in my head like the voice lines? It feels like it. You see, one of the problems that I've had since entering level 50 plus, you'll see that it looks like we are well together, put together. We're doing fantastic. We got a 70, a 70, a 70, a 70, a 70, a 69 keck, a 66. You know, we look like we're doing pretty good. There's one big problem that we're having now. It's light cones. The light cones they're gonna take some time. And then the other problem that we've got, maybe we'll start grinding them at Trailblazer 60, I think is what we'll do, is we've got our relics, because we do have a couple of gold pieces already. Like, we've got this gold piece here, which is a defense, which is absolutely spectacular. I love this. This is brilliant. But we don't really have that many golds. Like, we've got a few golds in terms of link ropes and stuff, but we really need some gold equipment. But that's probably going to take months. It is going to take months of spamming for our stuff, but our light cones especially is going to be a pain, a big pain. Because, like, if we want to upgrade this one, we've got to get our shield pieces. I guess we can go and get some shield pieces now. But our light cones are a pain, and then you've got all of the costs of the light cones as well. It's a bit much. And we've got Steve that we need to upgrade with these as well. But let's swap over to our brilliant level 69 Serval. Hello there. But yeah, I will say that having Serval and Seal does, or Sealer, however you're supposed to say it, does work very well, usually. Like, this team here is a pretty standard team, I would say, especially in Mirror World, but, you know, if we were going to be super meta, we'd be picking, like, I don't know, Fox Girl, Buffer, some sort of healer, shielder, and a really high damage person, like, I don't know, Seal. or Jingyuan. But you don't really have to go with meta in this game. I think it's quite similar to Genshin, where obviously meta picks help, and the amount of 5 stars I've gotten has definitely helped me, but we don't really need it. It just helps. But I'm absolutely desperate for a second healer, because trying to deal with Mirror World, one healer, it's not fun. You need to change the title? Well, no, I can't change the title, because if I change the title when the video goes live, then it'll change the full stream VOD to playing Honkai, which we don't want, because that was not correct at all. And anyway, we're not going to be playing this much longer. I at least want to do my daily resets. It's just, I am, my voice is dying, because I was actually really sick on Saturday, which was only 2 days ago, and now I appear to be mostly fine, but my nose is still blocked, my throat hurts, and speaking for like 3 hours straight is not helping that. Well, like 2.5 hours straight, plus I was talking like all day today, so yeah, I don't think my voice is gonna like me. Let's not be doing any singing tonight, is what I'm trying to say. Are they killing innocent creatures? No, these things are deadly. These are like, these are people that are trying to kill us. So this is very much fair. This is fine. We are killing things that are trying to kill us. Self-defense, you might say. Is it truly self-defense if we sort them out of the flower? I'm gonna say it's self-defense. But either way, these are definitely not innocent. So it's fine. Murder. Murder we go. It's okay to murder them if they're not very nice. But they do give us lots of tasty, tasty items and equipment, which is what I'm going for. But, you know, since day one of me playing this game, which was like a month ago now, because we've been playing this free-to-play for a month, I've only gotten to 180 energy and, like, wasted energy, basically. I think it's been, like, 3 or 4 times since then. So we've really been logging in, like, on the bat every day, pretty much, for this game, and, really starting to slow down now at this point. So I hope that that new update actually, you know, brings a lot of good stuff. Maybe one day we'll get like a home feature like Genshin has with the teapots, who knows. But this game definitely needs to have something soon enough. Wow, really? We only got one of these? Ugh, terrible. Ugh, awful. Can we upgrade? No, not you. Your light cone is what I wanted. We should have enough, right? Yeah, we got 3 of them. Can't believe we got 1 drop. Ugh, terrible. So yeah, we can ascend it. The only thing is we don't have enough credits because they're very expensive, as you can see. But now we can use these. Well, this preservation one's fine as well. I think I am probably going to use it on our main guy, though. So, like, you can see we've got enough for this one, but I'm probably going to use it on your boy Quackalakes. Is probably the one that we're going to use it on, just because I use him mainly, and he draws everyone's attention with his taunt as well. So we'll probably go for his light cone, and then I'm probably going to get Gepard and Serval up to 70, and then we should be pretty much ready for, like, anything. But you know, I think we've done pretty well. We've still saved up some stuff in the store, so we'll have some stuff to buy. Oh, look, that Sampo is so tempting. I don't have any dupes of Sampo so far, but we got to save up for these things, these 600 costs. Like, Moment of Victory would probably be really good for Steve. I probably should save for that. And then we've also got In the Name of the World. I kind of really want that as well. I think I'm a Barbie girl. Why? Why would I do that? But yeah, I think those 2 are the 2 that I'm really desperate for. Those 2. Oh, we do have her as well, but we don't really use her. She's don't care about her too much. Wait, why do we have a deal on for these? I mean, if they're on deal, why would I not buy them, right? I'm gonna buy them. This isn't a waste. I haven't wasted it, right? Do I buy these? Do I buy these and use them on, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use them on Jingyuan right now. We're gonna do it. We're gonna wish. I'm gonna do it. Okay, useless. Okay, useless. Okay, useless. Useless. Well, that was invigorating, wasn't it? Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Typical shop moment. We'll leave those there for now. Maybe I'll buy those as well. But yeah, we got all this stuff that we can continue to save up for, but I am definitely waiting for these, one of these at least. That was exciting, wasn't it? Did you enjoy wasting those 5 wishes with me? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it profusely. Actually, what have our wishes looked like? Let's look at our warps. Let's have a look. Wait, what? Is that really latest? We just opened the others. Well, either way, like, Ting Yun was there. We got those. We got those. What was our last 5-star? It was, Fire Lady, wasn't it? Only Silence, Sushang. There we go. There was Himiko there. Back on the 9th of the 5th. That was a month ago. That was a month ago when I got my last 5. It's been a month of us just constantly wishing and not getting a 5-star now. Terrible. I can't complain. Starting drops were absolutely nuts, but, you know, I was really hoping that maybe we could get Jing as well, but no. No, we cannot, apparently. Well, maybe we'll get enough tomorrow for, like, one more attempt at him, but after that, that's it. Jing is going to move on to E-Girl, and I'm not interested in E-Girl whatsoever, so it is what it is. Yeah. I was hoping that maybe we'd still get a drop, you know? Hopeful, but not expecting. Well, either way, that is my current Honkai moment. We've got this thought here, but, you know, it is what it is. Surely I'll get him. Well, we will see. We will see what happens tomorrow, won't we? If it goes pear-shaped for whatever reason, I will let you know. But either way, we're going to keep leveling up and hopefully have a load of stuff to do with the new update. But I am going to skedaddle. I need to eat. I've not eaten since like 1 o'clock, which was many hours ago. But thank you for joining me on this wonderful quest today. At least I got all the Dragon City stuff done as well. Obviously, we've got more grinding to do, but Honkai is a never-ending cycle and spiral of grind at the moment. But enjoy yourself. I will be back soon, and let's hope for some lovely, lovely pulse, shall we? You've not eaten since World War II? Well, you must be very, very tiny then. Maybe the size of an ant. Yep, see ya. Peace.